Oh shit. What's up, everybody? Still dotting I's, crossing T's. I apologize for being late to my own funeral. Hold up. Shout out to everybody in the building. As y'all can see, the wrench purge did happen. There were many casualties. I do greatly. It was nothing personal. It was nothing personal. Just know that. I had over 300, probably 400. I stopped counting around 3. I had over 300 moderators and all kind of crazy stuff happening. I had to just cut it down, and like I said, there were many casualties. I'm still dotting I's and crossing T's before I get the show started here. he called it battle armor. Yes. Yeah, you probably lost your battle armor. You probably lost it. But all right, yeah, we about to get this thing started. Shout out to Logan JJ saying my way. He's making them sick. Cut it out. All right, about to get this thing started. Shout out to everybody in the building. Do appreciate each and every one of you. Let me get this thing started. Let's get ready to go. Oh, my camera right here. Let's get ready to go. It's gonna be weird because I got it set up different to where to see the monitor. I got to look over here, but to look at y'all don't need to know all this. Let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
What's going on, good people? What's going on? I'm still not done dotting I's and crossing T's, but nevertheless, we are in the building, ready to go. What's going on? Let me make sure I get this straightened out. Make sure I get that right. Couple more things. All right. I think we're good to go. Oh shit, no, we're not. I'm all out of everything. I don't got no coffee here, Kaya do. I don't got no coffee. Rod said, I survived the wrench purge. Yeah, you did. I guess you did. You survived the wrench purge, man. Good for you. Congratulations on surviving the wrench purge. There were many casualties. A lot of people didn't make it. But Rod of God survived the wrench. Yeah, it was crazy. Man. I had like 400 moderators in there. At least I stopped counting once I started getting around 300. I was looking at how many moderators I had. People been moderating. So much crazy stuff happening. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't see the emails I get. People get blocked just out of nowhere for no reason because somebody with a wrench who probably was cool a year ago probably come here and when the show over blocking people they don't like. All kind of just outright, just outlandish stuff happening. Impossible to track it because I had just too many people with wrenches. I didn't know what was going on, didn't know what to do with it, so I did a wrench purge. Everybody who don't got one, I mean, it's not etched in stone. It's not etched in stone, but I cut it down to some people who I think will actually moderate the channel, and some people who Obsidian Game Changer, Edward Anderson, people like that, they still got wrenches, no big deal. They still got wrenches. Content creators that I've been rocking with for a minute, but no, it's a lot of people got hacked. Don't take it personal, please don't. And that was on purpose. You wasn't supposed to have a goddamn wrench. The hell, OG. You weren't supposed to have one. Hell, you thought this was. Vernon Scott in the building said, I Thanos snapped. God, somebody come look at this. He gonna show up the day after the wrench purge. No, the day of the wrench purge. Hey, can I get a wrench? Like, this ain't the day to ask for a wrench. If any day to ask for a wrench, this ain't the day to do it. Man, this ain't the day to do it. Hopefully my audio sound good. I was messing with a lot of stuff. But shout out to Rod of God. Shout out to E Capone. Still got 5 on it. Shout out to him. I just figured out. Well, I shouldn't say figured out. I just uploaded. I've been talking about my Patreon for a minute. I'm about to be doing some actual Patreon content. I just put up a Patreon only video. I'm getting my Patreon right finally. I barely even knew how to upload a video to Patreon. That's updated list of all my Patreons. Shout out to all of y'all. I'm going to be doing more Patreon content regularly. Patreon only content, or member only content. Some of you who don't got a wrench, you want your name to pop out instead of it pop out in blue. It can pop out in green if you become a member, because Patreon only content and the members only content, a lot of it will be interchangeable. Not all of it, because some of the stuff on Patreon will be stuff that I don't even want YouTube to even have the signature of it. Even though I didn't make it public, if it's still on YouTube, they still could use that to come at me. But it will be a lot of stuff on the members only end of things, like the video that I did, because I did a reaction to Kevin Samuels Men's Day. I was going to make that public, but I didn't want to I don't know, I used too much of his content, and I didn't want to potentially, I don't know, burn a bridge with Kevin Samuels. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna make that Patreon. I'm gonna be using some audio from Kevin Samuels today. I won't even put his stuff up there. I know he don't like that, so I'm gonna respect Kevin Samuels. I know he don't like when people use his stuff, so I'm gonna respect that. But the video that I did, a reaction video to his Men's Day, we only talk to men. He said some things I disagree with. But I still respect where he was going with it. I still respect the all go, no quit, balls to the wall. I don't even know if that might be a saying only in Michigan, for all I know, but the all go, no quit, balls to the wall attitude he has when it comes to men doing what they need to do to accomplish what they need to accomplish, he get on them. He put foot to ass when it comes to that. But it was still some arguments that he said that I had my disagreements with. I had my disagreements with some of it. But overall, I did love that when he does shows only for men, where the men call in, he talk about men issues, and he give men a hard way to go. I do like that that men show up in great numbers to watch it. I still believe his audience is majority male. I do believe that. I don't know for a fact, but I believe that is the case. I do believe that is the case. And that tells me that even though he started out talking about men, and right now he's in a place where his channel is blown up like crazy talking about women, that shows that men are still about that message. It's still about improving. It's still about doing what they need to do to better themselves. I like that. I love that. So because he started out talking to men, and channel was smaller. Now he getting views like crazy, and like I said, women hate watch him. They hate watch him, and some of them come for the dating advice, and some of them come to hate watch. But men come strictly just because they enjoy the content. They're on board with the message. I love that when he's he's giving it to men. Men are still on board with the message. The views are still high. That means men are consuming the message of improving themselves and being the best version of themselves. So I do like that. It was just some small things, but shout out to E Capone. Shout out to Vernon Scott. Said I Thanos snapped everybody up out of here. Shout out to Rod of God. He said he saw the video. That was on my Patreon only. Definitely a good video. JC the Conqueror in the building with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you on that. Rod of God podcast says I'm a Patreon. BR is under my government. Oh no, I know you are. Well, you probably typed that before I said anything. But yeah, no, I know that you're a Patreon. You're a Patreon and a member. Do appreciate you. Do appreciate you. Shout out to Hoop Jargon in the building. Says peace to Bernard in the chat room. LB Crypto said Obsidian surgically broke old girl down. Now I didn't like what Obsidian was being, as some people call him, obtusian. Some people call him obtusian. He was being real obtuse in the beginning, but it was a few moments where he said some things that where it was radio towards the end, maybe from the middle on to the end. It was some times where he said some things where he just flat out just left her completely silent. She had nothing to say. At all. And so yeah, Obsidian, you talking about the girl who wrote an article on the manosphere. Yeah, he broke her down big time. He broke her down big time on some of that. But I'm gonna get into it. Let me first start by let me get the video ready to go. And again, I apologize for being very, very disorganized and starting later than what I normally do. But we about to get this right. Okay. 150 people in here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Kevin Samuels titled this possibly the worst conversation he ever had. I don't know if it's that far, but I do know that because she's a social worker, that was probably the most troubling part of it. Her being a damn social worker. that was a part that really bothered me with that. If she wasn't a social worker and she was just some airheaded chick that just called in, I probably would have, just said, okay, this is another typical airheaded call. But it's reminded me of that time when lead attorney, oops, it did remind me of that time when lead attorney. This was early on in lead attorney days. He snapped on a chick, like he literally like snapped and had to apologize. He blocked her and unblocked her because she said something along the lines that if a man cheats, if a man cheats on his wife, he doesn't deserve custody of his kids or something like that. And lead attorney had made a real good point. He was like, it would be one thing if your messed up ideology was only affecting, you know, your kids. That would be one thing. That would be already horrible right there. If your messed up ideology was only affecting your kids, but her messed up ideology was affecting hundreds, if not thousands, of families. You see, and so that's where lead attorney lost it, and that's where I'm at. That's why I can pretty much lose it on this chick, on this chick right here. Like you're a full blown social worker who just has no ability to use reason and logic when it comes to interactions between men and women, and that speaks to a lot of what we talk about here when I talk about child custody issues. I thought it was when me and OG went back and forth about that. Talk about child custody issues. Yeah, you can have all your paperwork and all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. The fact of the matter is, when there's arbitrators, when there's people, when guardian ad litems, when there's people who you have to go through a lot of the times, depending on how it's structured, but a lot of times there's other people you have to go through before you be in front of that judge. Those people have biases and they write those reports up based off their bias, and then the judge is then influenced by their bias. It could be game over for you, even if you are the one that's in the right. Like that's something like we can't get around that one. We can't get around that one. But give me a second. Give me a second. All right. All right. 190 people in the building. I see y'all filing in. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We about to roll this. I'm not gonna play this from the beginning because it's kind of a lengthy video, and sometimes my reactions they be too long sometimes. So I don't want to play it all the way from the beginning. So I jumped in at about the 13-minute mark. We're gonna go from there. Let me get my. Oh shoot! I'm choking myself. See, I didn't think this through. I don't got a proper setup. Hold on. Hopefully this is okay. Hopefully this is okay.
Restaurant, and there was a wait, and you're hungry, right?
I'm gonna back it up a little bit.
Concept. No offense, man. I really mean no offense, but your mind can't even wrap your head around the concept. It doesn't even compute with you. It's like, well, I don't want to talk about that because that's so far outside of my mind. And all the men are like, what are you talking about? That's the real world. You can't get rid of the 30. That's there. So if 100% of men are out there and 30% under the age of 30 aren't having sex, if you gave men what they wanted, which is just a fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless companion, women were saying, okay, the majority of us are that. You say men would say, instead of taking you.
I came in the middle of the conversation when he said the 30. He was talking about the 30% of men under the age of 30. Well, it's a couple different studies on that. I don't know if he's referring. The one that I did some content on a while ago was one that said men between the ages of 18 and 29, 30% of them reported having no sex in the last year. I think there's probably a more recent study, but just going off the one that I know about, it was 30% reported no sex in the last year. If you went the whole last year without having sex, you're in incel territory. But I think it might be another one where they're talking about 30% of men being virgins, and she wasn't. She just wasn't buying that. She wasn't buying that. Just to give y'all a up to date on where they're at.
And going off and having consistent sex in a relationship, I would rather stay out here dating, spending my money, time, and opportunity for the possibility of sex. The possibility.
We know all men are not spending their money on women to have.
Ma'am, I don't really give a shit about the money aspect. See, you've
That's
lost.
a part of the
No. But the thing is, I'm not trying to be funny. That's not the point. The point is a bigger point. The point is you have just demonstrated why there's such a disconnect. You ladies have no idea what it's like to be a man. You are so disconnected from us because all your life is spent around talking to women and listening to their stories and everything else. And when I tell you about what's going on with men, you still think that, well, that's like this. That's like this. Okay, change it from men to women. You're hungry, right? You ever been to a restaurant and there was a wait and you're hungry, right?
Yes.
All right. And there was this 2-hour wait, and the next closest restaurant is 40 miles away.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a wait there too.
Sure.
You sitting there waiting, and then they come along and say, well, we can sit you and your guest not at your favorite table. We can sit you at this booth, or we can sit you at the bar. And then right now, or you can wait 2 hours. What do you do?
I'm gonna go sit at the bar because I want my.
Thank you, because
quick.
human beings are. Thank you, and that's exactly what men are doing. If you give men what they want, how they want it, they'll sit at the bar. They won't wait to go have a chance to sit in out there or go to another restaurant. Thank you for making the point that you understand human beings operate on incentives.
Mm-hmm.
That's how men operate too. Men will say, if you give me what I want right now, I don't need I'll take the bar. The bar is a woman giving men what they want. They won't go out here and say, well, I'll try for a better seat. Does that make sense?
This a restaurant, of course. We're gonna move faster.
Holy shit!
But
Holy
if
shit!
a man wants to go see their favorite, Mr. Samuel, no.
You gonna let me talk this?
Now, did the audio sound all right with that? Because I'm listening to it in a compromised way where I'm having to strain to hear the audio because I rearranged my setup, but then now my speakers just barely reach over here. But she did the thing that I hate that women do. They will come on a man's show. JC the Conqueror. This was I believe yesterday on Instagram. They will. Okay, thank you, Roddy. Guy said the audio is good. Yeah, they will come on a man's show. This man could have a million sub platform. This man could be a millionaire. They could come on that man's show wearing some damn inside out pajama pants and a tank top and will literally say, hold on, I let you talk. Like they will literally do that. They will literally do that. Like what the hell is it that makes them and to be fair, I mean, look, a woman did that to me on my show. This was a while ago. And I let it slip by, and I'm still mad at myself. I let that one go. I let that one go. I went after the re-listen where I heard her saying, I let y'all talk. I let y'all talk, didn't I? I missed it. I'm still mad about that. But I catch it every time they try to pull the I let y'all talk or I let you talk. Like they're allowing and giving permission to talk. Like they're giving men on their platforms permission to talk. What it ought to be is may I speak? May I continue to speak? Shout out to Freedman's Journal in the building. Freedman's Journal. Says baby mama social workers policing baby mamas and both shall fall into a ditch. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. We are here. Day one of the wrench purge. Day one of the wrench purge. I got 273 people in there. Shout out to shout out to all of y'all. Yeah, he said that word triggers him every time. It triggers the hell out of me too. It triggers the hell out. Damn, Paul Game, you good. You are good. That was like a year and a half, maybe a year and 9 months ago. But yes, that was the exact person. Wow. You've been here for a minute. Started from the bottom, now we here. I can't believe you remember that. I legit cannot believe that you remember that. That was a minute ago. That was a minute ago. Damn, you good. That boy good. That boy is good. Appreciate everybody being in the building. Get the likes up. I'm playing the audio. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to run into any problems. Yeah, because my video that I did analyzing my, I was going to say Fresh and Fit, debating Brittany Renner, but it really was just Myron debating Brittany Renner, even though Fresh did slip in one good question. When I was analyzing and breaking that one down, DJ Academics struck me down. It said a manual something, blah, 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 blah. But basically, DJ Academics or somebody on his team saw it and manually did it. And so that so they looked at it and they took it down. I could challenge it. I could fight the fair use thing, but I'm not gonna do it. I don't fight it. If somebody don't want me using their stuff, then whatever. I don't care. I did my show, it got its views, and it is what it is. It is what it is. It's I mean, I see what you're saying, Roddick God. Yeah, it's a little whack. It's a little whack, but yeah, no, he definitely, that video gone. That video is gone for good. I should have took it so I could bare minimum have it just saved. I should have uploaded it so I could bare minimum have it saved on the Patreon end. But even then, that it's gone. It's gone. So but yeah, so I'm being cautious.
My show. But no, you're acting like, do you understand why people use sports analogies to explain the complex concepts?
That's right. I do, yeah.
Because people can relate. I use the restaurant analogy because the sexual marketplace seems to be outside of your ability to relate, but you can relate to a restaurant. And now you're going to tell me, no, those things are different.
Mrs. Tammy, when you used your analogy, when you used your point, when you said if you walk in the room and 100 men in there, how many do you want to have sex? You took the 30 out of it. So when it comes to my
no, I said if you walked into a room with 100 men and you said I'm down to fuck 100 of you, how many would smash?
But you took the 30% of virgins out of that.
Now, when she answered that question, I believe she said 60%. That's why I didn't start this exactly at the right time. And don't start that saying free certain people wrench. That's how I ended up with 300 to 400 wrenches. I had to do a wrench purge. Just let it breathe today. Let it breathe. All right. I see y'all down there talking about some free Laros wrench. Man, cut it out. It looked like it's more wrenches here than what I intended. Shit. I wanted to I might need to get rid of some more. This is it's a whole wrenched out chat. Only people with wrenches posting. Well, damn. Well, damn. It was over 300 wrenches. I did a wrench purge. I took away like 250 wrenches. Like 250 wrenches. Stop saying free people's wrench. Cut it out. And I'm mad. I'm low-key mad I didn't start this at the right place. Okay, now he said that he had asked her the question. If you got 100 men in a room and you walk in there and say, hey, I'm ready to have sex right now with whoever wants to have sex with me right now. What she said was 60% or something like that would be down for the get down. Now, what she's saying right now, and this is just the start of just where you could see how the delusion is going crazy, because she think men just got endless options, that men, because this shows one thing that we know, that women only see a small percentage of men. I don't even subscribe directly to the 80-20 rule exactly, but you could tell that they only view men through the prism of the men that they find attractive or valuable in some type of way, because she just think all men got it like that. Like, there's that many vaginas to go around to where every man could somehow be a player. But when she was analyzing, this is the start of the delusion, it gets worse. But when she was analyzing that 100 men, she's saying you took 30 men away from me, going back to when he was saying that 30% of the men are virgins. But she's saying if you took 30 away from me, it's hard to understand exactly what she mean when she say that. But if I had to guess, if I had to assume, I would think that what she means is that in her mind, those men are not having sex by choice. So that's why she's thinking that they wouldn't choose her. And Kevin Samuels have to explain to her that no, that they're virgins, not by choice. And if you offer it up to them, they would take it. But that speaks to the delusion that women have. Sort of like when that guy who goes on the street asking men questions and women questions, he had asked a woman who has a hard time. He's like, men or women, who has a harder time acquiring sex? And she said, acquire. It did. She didn't even have an inkling or understanding of how it even worked. It didn't even the notion of acquiring it it was just off. It was just off her radar. You know, it's, it's like it was like asking her who has a harder time acquiring oxygen. It didn't even occur to her that men have to actually put in work and go out and try and improve themselves and build themselves up and actually, accomplish things to make themselves valuable out in the market. It didn't even occur to her.
No. I said if you walked into a room with 100 men and you said I'm down to fuck 100 of you, how many would smash?
But you took the 30% of virgins out of that 100.
No, ma'am. That's okay. That's the sexual marketplace. There's a millions. And even, okay, let's take it that way. Even if it was 30% virgins, those virgins would fuck you. If you were offering free pussy to a virgin, no cost, no zip, are you crazy?
So it's not, and then there goes to show you again, your other point is invalid when it comes
no, it's
to
not.
when
guys,
it comes to dating.
I want you guys to understand. I'm going to upload this. This is really female logic. This is really what it is. This is really what it is. She thinks she's really making points.
I am, Mr. Samuels. I wholeheartedly, I really feel like men are greedy. Men are really out to get. It's to the highest bidder. Whoever has the most value, whoever parents, whoever family comes from the most fortune, that's the woman that wins. I have worked so many.
She literally just said, whichever woman has the highest value, who parents comes from the most fortune, basically whichever that she's not. And now she's contradicting herself. She's saying men choose based off which at first they greedy and they want it all and they sleeping around with everything. But now she's saying that they in a calculated way choose based off choose women based off whoever family is doing the best, whoever families has the most status, the most money, or whichever woman is the most accomplished. And that in her gynocentric mind, she thinks that's how it actually works. Any woman who thinks like that, one, she's either delusional and just making stuff up, or she is like the hobosexual slayer. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. Either she's just completely delusional and making stuff up, or she's just full blown, absolutely, positively. Uh, she uses her little job she got as a social worker. She uses that to attract bums. So she feels like she'll be able to attract better men if she got a better job, because in her mind, women with better jobs than her, the bums that they're attracting are not quite as bummy. That if I had to try to womanize this stuff, that's probably the best I could do, and I don't even think that's hitting it. I don't even think that's hitting it.
Many places before I became a social
This is why
worker.
women shouldn't be in charge of nothing.
Can I finish?
Oh, don't do that.
Okay.
This is why women shouldn't be in charge of nothing. I'm serious, man. You're talking about out of men, 100% of men. What percentage of men are you talking about?
I'm talking about 75% of men.
So, ma'am, the 75% doesn't even line up with the 30% of the virgin. You can't be greedy in a virgin.
But you just said that if I was to walk in a room and the 30% of virgins was there, the virgins would have.
Ma'am, do you understand? Do you understand an example and a close? Okay. See, there's something called like an example where you're putting like a little test case over here, and then there's the real world. You're an educated woman. You should be able to bounce between these concepts. You're trying to make it all the same thing. This is what I told you guys. Men's minds are like waffles. We can compartmentalize and logically move through things. 1 0 1 0, open, close, on, off. We can do that much easier. Women's minds are like spaghetti. Everything touches. The logic runs through their feelings. That's why she keeps saying, I feel. Because to them, it's all one stream of consciousness. So to her, she really believes she is just on this logical path. And she doesn't realize that all the men are sitting back saying, you're talking about a small set of men extrapolating it out to all. Men are greedy. How can men, the average black man in this country earns $42,000, okay? That's $21 an hour. How can a man who's average earner be greedy in the sexual marketplace?
Because they date women that have money. So when they date women that have money and they date women that comes from a family with money,
where in the hell is all of these families with money that these men are dating women from? And if it's like she's talking, and this goes back to, we always say that they view themselves as a completely separate entity, species, race, or completely holistically separate and apart group from us. She's talking about black men as like as if they don't come from the same families as black women, as if they're not all coming out of the same household. Like, you can't make that argument and say that these men, these men, they only make 42K, but they're dating women with money or women that come from families with money. How could this large group of 42 of men that only make 42K be dating from a group of families that come from money, but these same men come from these same families that don't have money and they're struggling making 42K? So how could they all of a sudden, it just doesn't make any sense. This is where that delusion come in. This is where it gets to a place where either they realize that they're not making sense, but they just keep going. They just keep going and hope they stumble upon something that makes sense. It just gets to the point to where it's delusional to the point of being hard to explain it. And a lot of people do have this cockeyed view, this cockeyed belief that somehow black women make more money than black men. She could have been, maybe she was on that. Maybe she was on that. Maybe she got that cockeyed belief. A lot of people do. I've heard black men who allegedly a part of this space actually utter those words, that black women make more money than black men. And that's just not the case. There's no stats, no data, nowhere where you could find anything that says or suggests that. But shout out to Nuruddin in the building with the $5 super chat. Says, hey Bernard, I was actually driving my truck on the job, and I had to pull over to laugh because I didn't want to crash the truck while I was driving. Yeah, man, this one has a lot of doozies. They I ain't even got to them all. They on the way. But damn, what was I saying? Shout out to you. Last time I talked to you, you was talking about how you was getting your getting certifications and whatnot to, make more money driving trucks. So good stuff. Good on you. Shout out to LB Crypto says, I think she's missing a chromosome, and appreciate you dropping your last $2 on it.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Nordine back in here with another one says, I think she was trolling Kevin. At this point, it was a moment where I thought she was trolling, but then as the conversation kept going, it started getting more serious. And I was like, nah, this don't sound like trolling. It don't sound like trolling at all. So I can't chalk it up to troll. I can't. Tempted to do it, but can't do it. Kenneth Williams in the building with the super sticker. Do appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everybody supporting the stream. Appreciate everybody who's especially, well, not especially, well, yeah, I guess I can say especially the Patreons, because yeah, I got Patreons who just been just hanging on strong. I haven't done no Patreon, well, I never done Patreon only content, but I haven't even been sending stuff over there. And there's people that they just stayed a Patreon just to stay a Patreon, and I hadn't posted nothing over there in a really long time. But I just recently did a Patreon only video. So those of you that are Patreons can go and check that out. Going to be doing more members only in Patreon only stuff. I am actually trying to get that built up. Shout out to Rod the God Podcast, the Patreon gang in the building. Nora Dean, she actually believes the wolf tickets she's selling. Omega Dreads Gaming Channel says she's not trolling. That her brain. Yeah, when I was just re-looking at my Patreon list, there's a lot of people who've been Patreons forever who I didn't even realize it. I went down to the bottom of the list, and actually, looking at it right there, see how Maurice Novembre, Scott Haywood. Actually, I got it out of order. Scott Haywood was actually my very first Patreon. Maurice Novembre was my second, and Pablo DeMac the Trucker, Perfect Blackness. So yeah, you can see it right there. Paul G, who I think lost his wrench in the wrench purge, been a Patreon from the start. See, now I feel bad. But that's like the order in which everybody signed up to the Patreon. Shout out to New. I didn't even realize New was still a Patreon. See, some people have been supporting me for the longest. I didn't even know. I've been slacking on that, but I'm about to get on it. About to be producing some Patreon content and all kind of stuff. Shout out to Paul Game. Appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, no, you didn't. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, you weren't a casualty of the wrench purge. I thought you was one of the casualties. Yeah, man, I was just hacking away. I was Oprah in reverse. Instead of you get a car. I'm like, you lose a wrench, everybody loses a wrench. I was just click, click, click. I had to do some hacking. It was crazy. I mean, I said it was like 300, but it was closer to 400, and I'm convinced. I don't know. I'm convinced that it's all kind of like when I go through my list of people who are blocked, so many people on there, and I haven't blocked that many damn people. So it's people with wrenches that just had wrenches forever that have been blocking people after the show, doing all kind of stuff. So I got it narrowed down to where everybody who got a wrench, I can call. I know them and can call them by name, and don't gotta, be trying to figure it out. Like, it's easy for me to track what's going on. So yeah. But anyway, enough of me rambling about wrenches.
Average black woman in this country earns $37,000. So fully 50% of black men, 50%.
Oh, no, I couldn't. He said exactly the point that I was making, essentially. Where she's talking about these black men who make 42K. How could they be greedy? She's saying they're being greedy because they're going with women that got money, but the women only make 37,000. So where are these women coming from? Where are these families that got all this money that they're attaching themselves to? It's like she's literally just making it up as she go along.
Earn 42. 50% of black women earn 37. 74% of black women earn less than $50,000. And you're talking about these people who come from families and money. 80% of our children are from single parent households. You are talking about the top 10%. And you're talking about it like it's 100%. The numbers are against you.
The numbers.
Oh man, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Just understand.
She said the numbers. We don't do that. We don't do that numbers stuff over here. Numbers smumbers. Like she that's where she was going with that. He blew a gasket.
Saying what I said.
Okay.
You are talking about women with money.
I understand.
74% of black women earn less than $25 an hour or less. Would you consider $50,000 to be money?
No, absolutely not.
So by
now you see how quick and flippantly, I can't see her face. I can. How flippantly she said $50,000. He said, "Do you consider $50,000 to be money?" And it was like a real quick, very flippant. No, absolutely not. But we're talking about a group of women that on average make $37,000. We're talking about a woman who's a social worker who social workers don't make that much. Not a bad job. They ain't balling. Let me do a quick check. Average social worker salary. The average social worker's salary is $33K to $56K. $33K to $56K. But look how flippantly she said, no, $50K ain't money. But I guarantee if he asked her, did you think she made good money? Oh, yeah, I make good money. Mm-hmm. Yep.
By 9% of black women earn $75,000 or more. 9. What do you consider to be money for a woman?
Their range. You just said 75,000 or more.
So you're talking about 9%, and I said 10.
It doesn't matter.
I just said you're talking about the top 10% of. She don't get it. I said you're talking about the top 10% of women as far as earnings. Like the average guy is going after 9% of women. Do men choose women based on money first?
Yes. Absolutely. Oh my God. That's the perfect question.
I gotta let y'all see the level of animation on this one.
Going after 9% of women. Do men choose women based on money first?
Yes. Absolutely. Oh my God. That's the perfect question. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
He losing it.
Yes.
Where you from, man? Where you from, man?
I'm from Mississippi.
Mississippi goddamn variants. I swear to God.
She got to be the homosexual slayer. Is she a social worker? Let's just put her at 50,000, and she thinking women choose men based off money. She got to be the homosexual slayer. She got to have a line of homosexuals waiting in line to get with her, and she thinking her 50K is money, and that must be the only reason why they lining up to get with her. That's the only way I could make sense of that.
I'm from Mississippi.
When people are poor, they honestly believe, especially when you're poor-minded.
But real quick,
men pick women based on money.
Before I go any further, shout out to Bowdy Thug in the building. says, how can men who consistently listen to conversations KS has been having with women not lose respect for the education / intelligence of these people? Sad. Well, I'll tell you this. What I'm actually I'm losing this is what I'm losing respect for. I'm losing respect for just the overall, just the institution of education. It's like people can get degrees but somehow still not know how to think. Like that's a little, not even a little. That's a lot bothersome. That's very bothersome that people can get degrees. They can be educated and just not know how to think. Remember when I did the show on that woman that was saying strippers was no a professional athlete was no different from a stripper because you're both using your body to make money. What's the difference? I was calling this woman intelligent, but I mean she's making a lot of unintelligent statements. But I think I was accurately referring to her as educated. She did, until she started talking and getting loud, she did present herself with a certain air of, I don't want to say class, but just she just seemed like just if she didn't open her mouth, you just look at her and think that she was just some educated business professional woman. Some educated business professional woman. That's what you would think just looking at her. Just looking at her, that's your first thought. And she was a very successful woman. She was working in sports. She was a sports agent. She probably went to business school, got a degree. Probably have a master's in business. That if I had to guess. So some of them can get their masters, but then when you listen to them talk, they don't know how to think. They don't know how to break things down. They don't know how to analyze things. They don't know how to use reasoning and logic. So yeah, it does make you just lose respect for just the notion of education. Like I talk about like IQ a lot. Like you don't see people with master's degrees with low IQs. So it makes you question everything when you hear how some of these people operate, how some of these people talk. It's just like it's clearly different compartments of the brain that do different things. Okay, I'll just say that. There's a part of the brain that, yes, can memorize stuff and take a test and pass it, but can't practically think through situations. I don't know. It's that's what blows me away when I hear people who are educated, more accomplished, more accomplished than I am, but I'm listening to them and I'm like, what in the hell? Like, Mr. Tolbert in the building with the $5 super chat. He says, I said it once, I'll say it again. I have seen PhDs, attorneys, teachers chase after knuckle dragging guys who read with their fingers. Yeah. Cut it out. The RX-O in the building says, going to school consistently doesn't automatically equate to intelligence. And yeah, that being persistent, going to school consistently and being persistent with it, that is a factor in the equation. There's a lot of women who are nowadays are career students. And they just been they started going to school at 18 and they closing in on 40, they in their mid to late 30s, and they just now graduating. It's a lot of them that has been doing that, just steady Eddie persistence. I mean, then changed their major 18 times and dropped 1,000 classes, financial aid, student aid, or whatever grant, whatever they could. I mean, they are good at reading through and finding out how they can get their school paid for, how they can get those student loans. They good at that, and they do that, and they work that system. And this ain't the show for that, but we do know how that works when those when they change the policy. This is where it get deep. When they change the welfare policies, and you had to either work or go to school in order to keep getting your benefits, then a lot of them enrolled into school. Thus, they became the most enrolled. Fast forward later, even though they're still I don't even know if they're still the most enrolled, but them enrolling at greater numbers resulted in them now saying, oh, well, guess what? We're the most educated. That's more or less what that was. But shout out to RX-O says going to school consistently doesn't automatically equate to intelligence. Freeman's Journal in the building says, I used to think it was me when I kept meeting college educated women that were complete idiots. College takes their money, not teach them how to think. Yes, but they walk away with a degree. They walk away with a degree that says they're qualified to do something, and they go out in the world to do that, and they don't know how to think. So now we have a woman who's extremely illogical in her analysis of everything, being a social worker, having an effect on people's families. Dane C in the building says, salute BR. Since CG made a similar statement about black athletes being whole to the system in their $100 salaries was the, I think you mean $100 million salaries was the whole price. I don't know how you're hoeing if you have a unique skill set that pays hundreds of millions of dollars and you go to work for those 100 millions of dollars. Now, I do think the athletes should walk off the black. I would like to see the black athletes walk off the field, walk off the court, start their own league. It will be a lot of nuance to that. If it's starting a league where the players are the owners and it just gets weird, but that's never happened. It's unprecedented. But I would love to see that happen. I really would. I would like to see that, but I can't call them some hoes. Because they, like in that case, every doctor is a hoe unless he has a private practice. Every lawyer is a hoe. Like every astronaut is a hoe. Like, I mean, it just gets goofy. It gets goofy. Air mattresses can be comfortable, but I wouldn't know. Hey, don't bring up you. If you've been here, you remember that conversation back with Faith when she said, "I'll let y'all talk." I know you remember my air mattress story, so don't be bringing up air mattresses. Back in my I wouldn't even call that my simping days when I bought some air mattresses for it. They weren't even my simping days. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Yeah, we're not going there. Shout out to everybody in the building. It's 428 people in the game right now. 458 people in the game right now. Go ahead and hit that like button. Yes, it was charity. I was contributing to a charitable cause. I like the way you put that right there. I'll just say limitless because I don't know what that KYX means, but yeah, I think degrees are being devalued. Across the board. Yes. Toya's son, member. Shout out to everybody who's becoming members. Appreciate each and every one of you, and shout out again to the Patreon. I'm about to get back into the video, but shout out again to the patrons. See, the members, you become a member, it just highlights it right in the chat. I don't got to put your name, have your name scrolling up there in lights. But the member, the Patreons, I'm gonna start scrolling and shouting y'all out as I go, because I do appreciate each and every one of you. But the members, you shout out yourself every time you type something. But shout out to each and every one of you, and thank you. Who is this? I don't know how to pronounce that. Kwiku Isazi says, looking sharp, BR. Thank you. Appreciate it. And yes, as Freedman's Journal says, don't be a simp. Hit the like button.
Yes, absolutely. Status. Yes.
No, man. Oh, Jesus. Women based, I believe.
He's literally saying, just to give for y'all that forgot where I was at, she's literally saying men choose women based off status. She's that far gone. She's that far gone to where she actually believes men choose women based off status. That's how flipped upside down she got the game right now.
That's when you poor-minded. So men pick women based on money.
Yes, absolutely. Status. Yes.
No, ma'am. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not even, I don't even want to do this, but I'm going to do you.
I'll make you famous.
You're going to become famous, man. Because
Shout out to Gail at night. Says good morning, Bernard and chat. Showing love and support. Shout out to Gail. Shout out to Gail. Gail got a channel. A lot of people don't know about it. Make sure y'all go over there and support Gail. She used to be doing all this free labor moderating for everybody in all of Black YouTube and globally. So shout out to Gail. ARC in the building. He says, words has gotten back to me that you played a clip of Samuels highlighting the title of my book, The Possibility of Sex. True. I don't know. Chat room, help me out. Did he say the possibility of sex in this one? I do remember him recently saying it. I don't even know if this was a video where he said it. And I started in the middle of it. So y'all got to help me out. Damn, sidebar. He said he thought Gail at night was Gail King's. What? Oh, my goodness. Somebody help me out with that one. Does he say the possibility of sex? Well, I do know when I heard him say, I'll give you this, ARC. I'll say this. I did hear him recently say it. I don't know if this video that I'm playing is the one where he did it. I don't know, but I heard him say it so recently. It might be this video, but I may have skipped the part because I started in the middle, so it might not be on here. But one thing I do know, and this may upset you slightly, that he used the term possibility of sex. He didn't say shout out to Alan Roger Curry. He didn't formally shout you out. I'll say that. But he did say the name of your book. So yeah, you lightning strike. He gonna see your shadow on his wall. Maybe, I don't know, but but I don't remember him shouting you out. I do remember him recently saying the possibility of sex. So that's the best I can do for you. That's the best I can. Yeah, the Mac Trucker, but he used it where? He used it where? Did he use it in this video clip that I'm playing here? The most recent thing that he posted. Where is it at? This video clip that I'm playing here, the most recent thing that he posted. He says, possibly the worst conversation ever, Instagram live, absolute insanity. If this is a video where he did it, I don't remember, but I do remember him saying it. I'll say that. So perhaps investigate this video. You may find it. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure.
men pick women based upon looks first. Famous, man. But no, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not even, I don't even want to do this, but I'm going to do you.
I'll make you famous.
You're going to become famous, man. Because men pick women based upon looks first. In the comment section, gentlemen. Man, were you raised with your father?
I was.
Do you have any brothers?
I don't.
Okay. And you're how old again?
29.
You've been wrong on fully about 80% of the things that have come out of your mouth. And you haven't, and it doesn't matter if I use facts, data. You can go, and you're a social worker, go pull it all this for yourself. You're saying that men pick women based upon the money. Okay, then there's a question. Why do you have women like Jill Scott? What was that woman's name? Down here in Georgia. Ran for governor. Stacey, whatever her name is.
Oh yeah, the lady.
Stacey Abrams. He fumbling to find the names that he's looking for, but you really don't need to find the names. Just across the board, when you see fat, overweight, unattractive celebrity women who are really successful and rich, you don't see them. Those aren't the ones that you see having those, celebrity relationships with Michael B. Jordan. Those are not the ones you see having those celebrity relationships with other rich celebrities. Oprah is an example that came up, that's about to come up right now. You didn't see Oprah. Oprah didn't pull a Robert Smith. See what I'm saying? Robert Smith's not going to look at Oprah money and say, "Ooh, I need to get with that." You're just not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. That's not how it works. Lizzo is another obvious example. You're not going to see Lizzo. She gonna get a dude. She might get a dude. Somebody gonna marry her one day. I do think so. It won't it won't be Carl Anthony Towns, who she was trying to get at at the Minnesota Timberwolves game. That's the point. That's the point. You can find an equal celebrity who equally famous, who make equal money. He's not going to get with Lizzo. That's just a simple point that everybody should obviously easily understand. For her to pretend to not understand that is just embarrassing. But that's one thing, again, that the manosphere has done. We've brought reality to the discussions about relationships between black men and black women, and just the overall social dynamics between black men and black women. We've brought the reality to it. You can't live off in la delusion land anymore. And ARC, if you're still listening, they are saying that he used it, but not necessarily in the context of your books. I think he may have used it in the way. I remember him saying it. I think he used it sort of in the context. You remember how I said it's hard to talk about some of this stuff without directly or indirectly referencing you or one of your books, because the term possibility of sex is just such a on point term and phrase that when we talk about what women do when they, when the men are in pursuit of the sex, and how they like it, it's difficult to have some of these discussions without indirectly shouting you out. I mean, it's hard to get around that. So I think the audience might be right that he wasn't directly referencing your book, but the term "the possibility of sex" was no better term for him to use to describe what he was describing. So you cornered that market. It's hard to talk about it without giving you a shout out, without at least feeling like we owe you a shout out when we're talking about the things that women do. So I mean, that's how you know you knocked it out the park with that one. Credit gate, yeah. Gotta give everybody their credit. Gotta give everybody their credit. But no, he deserved credit for that one. I mean, that book, Possibility of Sex, you haven't read it, go read it. And it changed the way that I looked at things. It really did. It really did. It made a lot of things clear for me. I'll just say that. It made a lot of things clear.
Mm-hmm. Why do you have these women who are chronically single if men pick women based upon money first? Why do black women report the more education they have and the more money they make being less married?
I don't know.
Well, according to what you say, men pick women based upon money first.
Yeah.
But according to the numbers, they don't. Stacey Abrams, successful woman, she has money. Where's her husband? Gabrielle Sidibe. She had to go get an average-looking white dude. Do you want to retract that statement?
I don't care what nobody say. Gabrielle Sidibe still overachieved. that dude made very good normal money. He was, based off his job title and description, he probably made 150,000. She overachieved. Gabrielle Sidibe overachieved. I don't care. But his point still stands that, that she couldn't get with some. She couldn't get. Okay, she's a celebrity worth $10 million. There's plenty of celebrities worth $10 million who wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. But even then, getting a dude who's, not some fitness workout guru, but seemed to be in reasonably good shape and made 150K. I mean, she overachieved. Shout out to her. She overachieved.
I don't. I stand on that, and I believe that. I mean, that's just some women. I mean, some women that you're not. Oprah. Oprah has a man.
Oprah's unfucking married.
She's not married, but she has money.
Exactly.
She has a man who you can't tell. You can't think of any job that Stedman has held that she didn't create for him. He's the head chief executive of an organization that she started. Like, I mean,
thank you.
But she could be married if she.
No, she couldn't. No, she couldn't.
Oprah could not be married to Stedman if she wanted to.
First of all, I move Oprah to the side because Oprah, there's a question about something. Man, why? So
shout out to Dane C. I don't know why you asking the question, is Stedman alive? I didn't know that man's well-being and mortality was up in question right now. Deacon Dave says she ate Stedman. Says Bernard, all y'all need is a Mitchell and Ness, and I think Nets a jersey and some FUBU platinum jeans. I don't know why we need that. Stedman is you said that says beard, but I think I know what you meant. You didn't mean to say Stedman is a beard. You meant to say Stedman is a beta. That I think that's what you meant to say. Beta. Beta.
Out of the race. Oh no.
Beta male. Shout out to Osmosis. Hey, Osmosis Reacts is the reason why we got this drop. Beta. That one is because of him. I'm not even going to rehash why he I'm not even going to rehash why. But he's the reason. He's the reason. Beta. That beta don't get old. That don't get old. Charles Merchant says this is where common law marriages come from. Even unmarried women believe that they are married just being associated with a man. The Mac Trucker in the building, he says Oprah can pay for Stedman's immortality. Yeah, she can. Yeah, she can keep him alive and propped up for as long as she want him. Beard, like cover for Oprah and Gail's relationship. I forgot beard had that separate meaning. M. Stewart be coming with it, man. Wow. That's a new one on me. And I think Kevin Samuels was low-key referring to that because he said he can't really say nothing with Oprah because there's some other stuff that he said he didn't even want to talk about it. But wow. Wow. Oprah and Gail. No, tell me about it, Kayadu. You said I see the out of wedlock poll here on YouTube. Tell me about it. I didn't know about that. I mean, it seems so obvious now. Don't clown me. It do seem obvious now. I probably heard somebody say it and I just brushed it off. Okay, so everybody telling me that's been around for a while. All right, cool. I probably heard it and brushed it off, man. I don't be taking stuff serious. Serious. Come on, Bernie. That term came from the 50s. I ain't from the 50s. I didn't know. Basically, when Rock Hudson was going to be outed. Okay. All right. Yeah. Like I keep up with Rock Hudson. Yeah. All right, y'all got me. I'm late to the party on some alleged news about Oprah and Gail's closeted relationship that they've been hiding for years. I didn't know. Greetings, Bernard. Truly sad. Most feministic Black women have this mindset. Much prayer needed and long suffering in the future. Yeah. Yeah. I can't get that Gail at night. That sounds like a only. Y'all did wrong. The Mac Truck on the building says, "Be careful, Bernard. Oprah going to have you on an apology tour." Yeah, I'm gonna be on the red table like Snoop, apologizing. Yeah, I'm still mad. Snoop did that. I'm still mad. Snoop should have stood in it. He really should have. Snoop really should have stood in it. Anyway, back to the video. I might open it up. I wasn't even planning on opening it up. I was going to do a shorter show today, but damn, the views came in hard and heavy. So I might open it up and drag this thing out.
So, what do men choose women based upon? If women choose men based upon money, what do men choose women based upon?
Men choose women based upon money. Women pick men solely off love.
You can't pick. You can't pick off of love. You got to pick for other reasons. Yeah, forgive me. I had to reach for something. Yeah. I gotta pull up a little bit. No, this ain't no liquor. This is juice. But I had to pour a drink. So right now, men choose women based off money. Women choose men based off love. You can't choose based off love because you don't know that individual. So you have to choose for some reason. But women are out here just going for love. Like you see how backwards she got it flipped around. Women are romantic and going for love and not concerned with how much money a man got. Men are picking based off resources and provision. The men are out here looking for somebody who can provide. And women are looking for love. Like, that's how backwards she think the game is. Yes, I had to pour this one out on you. Had to pour the goblet. Had to pour the goblet out. And that's where we at.
Ooh. And this is a social worker, y'all.
Let's not lose sight of that. This is a social worker who's this illogical.
I mean, I'm to the point where I don't even want to make any jokes because this is so sad.
It's the truth.
No, ma'am. You are danger. And you advise other women?
I do. Absolutely, yes. I do. Absolutely, yes.
Ma'am, you really should have said that.
Why? It's the truth. I wouldn't lie to you. It's the truth.
Because you shouldn't be advising anybody. This woman actually says men pick women based upon money. Then if that's the case, why do women who have PhDs and MBAs and everything else, why aren't they married? Especially in our community. Because we got the most educated women, right?
Yeah.
Okay, why do we have the lowest marital rate?
Sometimes we get married
one in four black women will marry anybody. Not just black men. 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. So you can't make it a black man issue. If men excuse me, you're not gonna fucking put this on black men. I will destroy you if you try that shit. I said one, okay, just as long as you don't try that, we can have the conversation, but 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. If we have the most educated, meaning making money and education, then why are they the least married? If men choose women based upon status.
Some women are very busy. They have busy schedules. Some educated women have very busy schedules. So they really don't have time to date.
Some. Talk to me about, excuse me, ma'am. I don't want to talk about, see what you do is when you start losing an argument, you start to deflect to the minority. Talk to me about the majority. 50% of the women in question were educated, but yet 1 in 4 were married. Don't talk to me about some. Talk to me about the majority. Why are 1 in 4 marrying? And actually, the marital rate drops as black women go up in education and up in income, which is an up in status. Why does marriage drop?
Shout out to Son is Hot Ron in the building. He says, Bernard, just be careful of what's being said about these celebrities unless you want to get slapped with $1 million defamation lawsuit like Tasha K. Now, I will say I personally have not been paying that much attention to the Tasha K thing. That's why I haven't done any content on it. I've ducked in and watched some of what lead attorney had to say on it. It was bigger than her just talking. I'll say that. What she did, it was bigger than her just running her mouth. It ain't like she just said some stuff they ain't like. I mean, it was more to it than that. But I don't know all the details, so I've stayed out of that one. But yeah, that's a wild one. That is a wild one. But shout out to you. Do appreciate it. It's a shame how low the marriage. Yeah, they gotta hurt that if you got to pay out millions to somebody who got that much more money than you. Like, come on, man, just call it even. I was just bullshitting, man. Just let's just let bygones be bygones. Oh man, but no, she screwed. I don't know how much she make on YouTube. I heard them talking about how they might it could get broken up over a certain amount of time, like 5 years. So somewhere like 60 months. Divide that 4 million by 60 months. I think it's still coming out to like I don't know, man. Like that's I don't know what to make it. I don't know all the details on it. That's why I didn't do no content on it. So I don't know what to make of it. I don't. It's just crazy. That's all I can say.
Don't tell me about the ones that are some that are too busy. If men pick women based on status, why are these higher status women more unmarried?
I believe that they get to the point where it's like, I've been single, I've been alone by myself.
It's like this is a point in the conversation where you have a moment where you could step back and say, you know what, I was wrong. I was wrong in my assumption. I've been analyzing this wrong. They don't pick based off that. Or she could turn around and say that, oh, black women don't make that much money. That's why. She could say that, and then she could try to keep some internal logic in her bad argument, but she was not even willing to go that way. She was going to tap dance the goalpost somewhere else.
Or while they're getting their education, they're dating, but it's just not a connection.
Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Ma'am, you just contradicted your own point and you won't stop. You said men pick women on status, and I'm saying why are the women that have more status less married? You said men pick women based on status. And you have to explain why the women who have higher status are less married.
All right. I played more than enough of this. I'm about to just skip to the final part at the end. Y'all could go check it out. Just Kevin Samuels' latest video. Y'all could just go check it out. Y'all know. Y'all need, I don't need to even drop a link. Y'all know where to find Kevin Samuels. But I want to just skip to this part at the end.
Her feelings. She doesn't agree. It's not that she doesn't agree based upon any of the facts or the data. It's solely based upon her strong that she made. See, she's trying to deflect because she doesn't want to say the truth. There's no getting through. You've already tried. And she says, I'm going to stand her like you're doing. If she was taking your stance, what would you tell your son to do with her?
I want to rewind it.
If he didn't want to be with her anymore, I would tell him.
No, it has nothing to do with want to be with her.
Well, back it up, son.
I don't know. I'm gonna stand on that. That's what I believe.
Okay. Are you okay? So if your son was dealing with a woman and he was right, based upon everything that's observable, verifiable, facts, figures, data, statistics, and she believed like you, she's just gonna stand on what she believes. What would you tell him to do with her? Would you tell him to stay with her, continue to work with her? What would you tell him to do?
I would tell him to, if he feels like he want to stay, then continue to work with her. But if he can't, he feel like he couldn't get through to her and she wasn't.
Well, no, ma'am. There's no getting through. You've already tried. And she says, I'm going to stand her like you're doing. If she was taking your stance, what would you tell your son to do with her?
If he didn't want to be with her anymore, I would tell him.
No, it has nothing to do with want to be with her. This is a matter of somebody has to lead, somebody has to follow. Choices have to be made. See, she's trying to deflect because she doesn't want to say the truth. If she's going to stand, you're at an impasse. He's over here, she's over there. A decision has to be made. She's not going to be budged. She's not going to budge. She's not cooperating. She's not agreeing.
Because she doesn't agree?
She doesn't agree, and she doesn't agree based upon her feelings. She doesn't agree. It's not that she doesn't agree based upon any of the facts or the data. It's solely based upon her stringent belief. What are you going to tell your son to do with a woman like that? Because if he's supposed, his wife, the woman he's with, what are you going to tell her to do with?
This is wife. What?
Are you going? His girlfriend before he becomes his wife. See, what do you tell your son to do with a woman that will not follow his lead, will not change her mind based upon anything that's verifiable and provable? If it's only she makes decisions based primarily on her feelings, what do you tell your son to do? Do you tell him to stay or do you tell him to leave her?
Stay. Why? Just because a
this
woman
is where that Maury Povich shit, where boys are going and Maury.
And that conversation was predicated on her more or less saying, I had to skip it because I was playing too much of it. That conversation was more, part of the conversation was predicated on her saying that she don't care about more. I'm paraphrasing. She don't care about what the facts are. She's going to go with her feelings, her gut. She's going to go with her gut and just what she think and what she feel. And then he put the question to her, okay, what if your son was with a woman and he was right in whatever they had a disagreement on, all the facts and everything lined up, he was right, and this woman just refused to follow. She just said, because she's just gonna go with her gut and go with her feelings too, and then she quadrupled down and said that no, her son shouldn't leave that woman. So basically, now a lot of people who come on my show and they've more or less said this, that and I normally don't get into this, but they said that a lot of women, even when it comes to their own, son, they're going to essentially, bat for the gynocracy, so to speak. That's how it more or less has been worded. Edward Anderson has made that argument. Now, it's a possibility that she's just knee deep in a discussion and debate in the back and forth with Kevin Samuels and don't want to lose the argument, so she just stood in it. I do think a lot of the time when they'll say something for themselves, and then when he try to throw it back at him and say, but what if your son was in the exact situation that we're talking about right now? Would you advise him to stay with the woman in that exact situation that you're putting a man in? And normally they would say no. In this particular situation, she she doubled down and agreed. She doubled down and agreed that no, that this guy should stick it out. This guy should stick it out and stay with this woman. Normally they go the other way, but she went that way. It's 524 people in the building. We are an hour and a half into the show, so I'm dropping a link in the chat. Feel free to come on in. I was going to do a short show today, but I'm not walking out on good views because everybody is in the building. I do appreciate each and every one of you who have joined us today. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. If you are new here, if you want to come up and give your thoughts, your take on this conversation, I do greatly appreciate it. For all the Patreons, I did drop a Patreon only video, did a reaction video similar to what I did right here. Did a reaction video to Kevin Samuels Men's Week, where I actually disagreed with some of the things that he said. So it was a pretty good video that I made Patreon only. I may make it members only. We'll see about that. But if you are new here, let me actually put that down in the bottom. If you are new here, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody coming on in the building. Somebody said, who just said that? Yeah, there it is. He said, damn, the picture clarity. Yeah, man. I got 3 cameras in here. One of them, this one, now it's funny because when I look at the camera, now I can't see it, but when I look right here, I can see where I'm at. But no, I know how to get this one like hella in focus. The other one is the other camera that they say is actually better than this camera, that's better for streaming. And this one is I don't know how to get that one to work like this one. This is the same camera in lens, everything that Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews use. So I basically just went to his video, give my little YouTube tip of the day. For those of you started the channel, I just went to Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews video, pick one at random. He put his equipment that he used in the description of every video. So just go there and click on it and buy exactly what he got. Only thing about this camera, you can't zoom in and out. You just got to set it where you want it and then adjust the focus. And then it will come on. It will come on through. But if nobody comes up, AM1, you asked that question 2 seconds too late. I just told y'all what it was, and then you don't gonna type what camera you using. But no, it's the same one the Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews use. It's a Canon EOS 77D. But I don't know if that help you with the lens. So, like I said, don't take my word. Go to Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews channel and just click on his stuff. Malcolm Smith, I see you down there. You don't got to be on camera to come up, but just turn the camera on so I can see you. If I see you, then you can come on up. That ain't for everybody. People I know is cool, but if I don't know you and I'm feeling a little suspicious, I don't even see an avatar picture down there. So yeah, you got to turn your camera on. Let me see you before I let you come on. Okay, I see you down there. All right, fully dressed. All right, cool. You can turn your camera off if you want to. All right. All right. Hold on. Let me get my.
Hello, how you doing, Bernard?
Wait, hold on. I can't hear nothing. Let me get my headset together. All right. All right. All right. Go ahead, man, brother. What you got? Mic check 1 2. Are you there?
I mean, I kind of, my kind of. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I just want to ask, not only to yourself, but I want to ask to the self and to the panel. With a chick like that, how's the necessary a boy necessarily supposed to survive in the world? And then add it in, if that's your mother, I have to say, now to me, she seems more like a white supremacist than anything else. But like the softer version of the white supremacist. Like I mean, because when you understand that, white supremacy was a whole. It's this whole thing. It was the women was in it, the kid was in it, everybody was in it. You know what I mean? So how can you not look at this woman and then not by default call her a white supremacist though?
Well, why don't you make the case as to why you think she is one?
Okay, so I make the case in the sense of this is how I look at the logic, right? Now I as a thinking individual, right? I see that okay, this is what I need to do to put myself in their best position, right? For survival, for your own well-being, for your children, whatever. We all men necessarily do it to a degree. I think we all look out for our family, friends, and everything, right? So when you understand that she's only really doing this to her, like we say, if that was her daughter, she wouldn't tell her daughter that. She wouldn't necessarily go tell her daughter go into a bad relationship, take abuse and all types of degradation and degradation. I'm sorry, and she wouldn't do that at all. But with her son, she'll badmouth her son. I'm willing to bet. I was willing to bet. I'm not saying that she did or she didn't, but she'll set up her son up for failure. If you understand that, and if you understand necessarily the reality that a man has to go through, or at least a black man in America, you understand that I'm setting you up for failure. And if you look at the history of it, you have to understand that she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing because she wouldn't do that to her daughter. You have to either think she either is misandrous to the next level, which is sort of I just hate men necessarily. So why would you just hate black men? So you only hate black men because you wouldn't tell this to a white man. I'm pretty sure. So then you come to that reality is she's only telling that information and she only telling that information to black men. So then you have to either come up with the thing is she just either hates all men or she only hates black men. Then by default, that you know where that leads you to, that she has to be a white supremacist.
All right. I don't.
I mean, I'm a very
I know.
nicer version of white supremacy, but white supremacy.
No, okay. I mean, I hear what you say. I don't leap that far. I think she's her own unique thing. There are some people that have made the argument that that black women are the right hand of white supremacy. I honestly, I don't know if you watch my show regularly. I don't get into the whole, white supremacy, racism, and all of that, because I don't think that's our biggest problem whatsoever. So that's why I got just instant hesitation with calling her that. I think we can call her just a modern woman who just thinks very illogical, irrational, and gynocentric and matriarchal. We can those are more accurate terms than have to reach to something else.
I'm gonna drop off and come back. I'm sorry. I'm gonna drop off and come back.
I think me and you did have some type of delay. Now, when a gentleman was talking, I heard somebody say, "Man, drop this clown," and so I asked me to drop the guy. I don't think he's a clown, but y'all asked me to, drop the clown. But I mean, it's not the show's not going to get any better because, well, we bringing up another one. So bringing up another clown. So
you know where you can start kissing the ground, right? Good morning. How the hell are you? You gotta get some waves in that damn beard, man, because it ain't matching.
Beards and you can't get waves.
You gotta get some waves in there, bro. You gotta get some waves. They have a waves a cap for your beard too.
You can't put a do rag on a beard at night.
Listen, what I just said. Not a do rag. They have one especially for the beard.
Something that I'm supposed to wrap around my face.
You put a mask on anyway when you go outside. What's the difference? And it might be a lot better for the babies when they have to look at you, because their eyes ain't strong enough. I understand. Pray to Jesus. He give you that what you need. Good morning to everybody. Right. Good morning to everybody in the chat room. How you doing this morning? Look. Let me tell you something. There's a difference between educated and trained. Mm-hmm. This lady was trained. Okay. All right. I guess that's what the brother was trying to say, but he went into the system of white supremacy and that threw everybody off. But
I thought you was talking about something else.
I was talking about the lady that you was talking about that he interviewed. She was trained, and she was using talking points from her thesis of what she was trained in, and then
who trained her on that stuff she was saying.
Well, she has a degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we get all our training from?
I don't think they taught that stuff at the University of Phoenix.
But what I'm saying is, it go coincide with everything that she was taught, and then she put her own little mix on it. That's what I'm saying. We go get educated, and we get what we call book academics and all that other kind of stuff, and then we take it and put our own mix. You know how you take somebody's recipe and you try to add your own little spices to it? As we know, black women are the first one who's trying to tell you about their education. They do it in front of black people, but they don't do it in front of white people. They just don't, because they know white people gonna laugh at them. But they do it in front of us. But when you run into people like this, you just have to say to yourself is, especially if she's a social worker, this is why it's important for parents to be there when social workers are there. Because they're not perfect neither. You got to understand these people come from all walks of life. And they have problems, even though a person has a degree, but he still can have problems. If you was talking about Oprah this morning, she has problems.
Hey, was that were you in the dark like I was? Because I probably heard Oprah and Gail in a relationship. And that's you. I mean, you old. You know about that. That's been out there. That was out there back in your day.
That was back in my day. And don't act like you some young chicken yourself just because you got waves in your head. Your ass is pretty much turning over that leaf too. There's a lot of the guys that call your ass old right about now. Mm-hmm. So don't act like you got a cape and people can't see you. But that was, when I first busted over by Whitney Houston years ago, people didn't believe that.
Her? Was it with her?
She had a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, Whitney had a girlfriend, and she was, allegedly molested by her aunt. Hey, Mr. Palmer! What's going on there? Mr. Palmer just dropped in. Mr. Palmer know me. I've been on this channel a couple times. Shout out to Mr. Palmer there.
Man, hold on, wait. We got to stop the show. Mr. Palmer, did you get this man a good talking to when he came on your show, man?
He can't spank me. He know that.
I be trying to give him a good talking.
Hey, man, me and OG, we had our quarrels and everything, but we both got the same common ground, which is men's rights and fathers movement. So we definitely got differences, but we definitely have agreements when it comes to these baby mama terrorists. So now I ain't here to knock them over the head or nothing.
Right. Yeah. And Mr. Palmer, you tell them I just have a different approach. I want the same outcome. And this is what I think we go hot. Me and Mr. Palmer, we went into it when we first met each other. But he seen that I was genuine trying to protect men's rights when they go in the courtroom. I just have a different approach that worked for me and worked for so many other guys.
Yeah, but it just be coming off. I shouldn't even say be coming off. You be gaslighting men into saying that all the problems will go away if you just dot this I and cross this T on the paper.
No, see, that's the way they take it. Hey, but don't you start that early this morning. See, but don't you start it early this morning. What I do be saying is, look, if something is not working for you, right? If it's not working for you, Why is it so hard for you to try something new? That's my whole approach. If it ain't working for you, your left hand ain't working, then put it in your right hand and try that approach. If that don't work, you just keep on moving with it. I have never said that my solution was 100% court proof. No, I would never say that. What I am saying is, you get your ammunition, you get your weapons, and you use everyone that you can use in that courtroom so you can have the advantage. That's been I listen to Mr. Palmer, and some of the things he say, I incorporate that into what I'm doing too. If it seems like something that logical can work, then yes. But I understand there's a lot of guys out there, because I thought Mr. Palmer, when we were, one of the biggest arguments we had when I first started was, if you tell these guys they can't win, they might not show up in that courtroom. But I see that it wasn't even what he was saying. He was just saying it was so unbalanced and so unfair that we need to know that before we go in the courtroom.
That's it.
That's
it. I'm not
and that's what.
Don't fight.
Right.
What I'm saying is, when you go in that courtroom, I want you to know what's the worst that could happen. And I tell y'all, from the statistics, some stories, the one-on-ones, 9 times out of 10, you be a failure. Don't mean that, okay, you don't regroup, get yourself in order, or do what you need to do and go back and fight. But I'm just telling you, it's a bad investment. Y'all heard the lead attorney come on and say and tell you it's a bad investment. Bernard Roddy, he been through it for so many years, and he finally got custody of his boys. I'm just saying, and I'm just saying, I'm just here to speak the reality. You need to know what it is, because people will tell you all you got to do is get a lawyer. All you got to do is just go up there, wear a suit. It don't work like that, fam. It don't.
And Mr. Palmer, will you tell them one of the greatest success of you working within that system, when you kick your lawyer to the curb, it started working to your advantage because you took more proactive in your case? Will you give them that story?
Yeah, I give you that. I had a lawyer. Say it was a good lawyer. It was a black woman lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I realized about this feminism shit. And had the lawyer. She said, "Hey, this judge is a man of principle, and we can do this," because I wanted equal pay at the time. But when the judge told me, when I said when I was going for equal pay at the time, he said, "You told the lawyer, I don't believe in that." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" This in Chicago, Markham Courthouse, South Suburbs. I said, "What the fuck? I thought you said he was a man of principle. I thought you for what's right." And I tell people all this all the time. After that, fired her ass. Because I knew what I was dealing with. Bullshit.
You represented yourself after that?
Yes. Now, I didn't get to compare at the time, but I was able to, because she was trying to get all, more money. And when I was presenting my case, that judge wasn't going when it came to that. And at the end, when everything was over, because y'all remember, I started on Facebook with the fuck child support, not YouTube. That was just last year. So that dude told me, when everybody was gone, it was just me, him, baby mama Terrace, and the officer. He told me it was his job to make the county money.
Damn.
And that was my wake-up call on how the system is. He told me. Now, why he told me that, I don't know. Why? I didn't ask him, but he told me. And that right there made me go full-fledged with this fuck child support, because I started doing my due diligence to find out the laws, the history, who was it meant for, and so on. Why was it here to begin with? And all these stats about black men don't want to be fathers and all this shit, when black men are the most involved fathers, black men are the best fathers, the most active. When they tell you that black men are having all these kids out of wedlock, that's only like 15 to 20%. When they tell you that black men are going outside they race marrying these women, it's only 9%. And also, it's a stat saying that black men are marrying women, I think it's 83%, 88%. And that's why I tell y'all been had, y'all been lied to. That's why I played the Malcolm X ping, because they've been lying to us for a long time. Media, Obama, and everybody else been telling you that black men don't want to be fathered, even your own women. That's why I talk about these baby mama tears, our Queesha, our Keisha, our wild Melnicias, because these are the ones who destroyed our community. And
you have to watch out there, Mr. Palmer, because there are people in the chat room say you changing the course of things and you changing the topic. But even though you giving this good information, you gonna have people who look like what?
I mean,
they just don't. No, you good.
I ain't trying to change no topic. All I'm saying is that's why I do what I do. I ain't trying to change no topic. As far as the woman who went on being delusional, I don't care if she, if she have a degree to think about it. Y'all need to realize when it comes to these black women with degrees, them are the worst baby mama tests on the planet because them the ones got education, they got licenses, and they make six figures. Them are the ones that are setting men up for failure the worst, not the link cards, not the ones who want wick and stuff, because they got a shield to hide behind. They could be the worst woman in the world, but they in that courtroom looking like a holy angel because they say, I'm a teacher, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse. I wouldn't do nothing like that, and they fall for that shit. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that if y'all want to know, as far as that situation, yeah, I don't entertain nobody if they got to say I got a degree, education, I'm smart. I don't take them seriously because y'all are the least married and you have the high rate in single motherism. So that's my response to that.
Yeah, right on. No, definitely good stuff. And just for the record, OG, they don't like when you come up here and change the subject and take us
I
back.
didn't change the damn subject. See, y'all always accuse me of shit that I don't do. See, that's the problem. Is when they say OG Palmer, I don't care if I'm agreeing along with them 100%. They gonna have to find they gonna find something. What is that person in Planet of the Apes? That one called Cletus or something. What is that one called? The Cornelius in Planet.
Cornelius,
Okay,
yeah.
we have a brother who looks like him, and he just attacks me with every damn thing. If you look at his snapshot, he looks just like he looked just like him.
What you talking about?
And what? I ain't gonna be no shame about it. He looked just like Khalid. Look at that picture he comes up with. He looked just like him. Put that picture beside each other. And I know that's kind of hard to take sometimes, but he looks just like him. But anyway, Mr. Palmer, this is a problem I have, is that I have a reputation as far as caping for women. All right? So when they see me, even if I'm agreeing along with them 100%, I got to be wrong. So that's the problem. They even got a banner on my head over here.
Hey,
They get me kicked off all the time.
I gotta be honest with you. Like I tell a lot of men on my platform, if I would have jumped in my feelings and my emotions and just cut it you out the picture when you first came on, we arguing and everything and having disagreements, I would never got to know the real you. When me and him talked on the phone, we talked about a couple hours. I had a better understanding. So now, because I'm like, man, this simple force ass dude trying to cape for these women and woo out man. And I realized we got a lot of differences. You gotta remember he's old school versus the new school. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all are newer than me and Bernard, me and him in the same realm. But I mean, his agenda is about men getting their rights, and he out there. He have been doing legwork in California. I seen it and everything. But the problem is with you, OG man, you came in the gate, coming on people's platform. They don't even know you. You come in and
Yeah, you're right.
wrong way. So it's like you got that dart in your back. You will have to, you know what I'm saying, redeem yourself.
Hey, but you know what? In the long run, truth always wins, don't it? Regardless of how people look at you, the judgmental. See that truth always win in the end.
I agree.
Truth will always win. Truth will always win. But you gotta seeing is believing, and you gotta be there to see it, right? And what
but I'm just saying, if you got your foot in the mud, but if you got your foot in the mud,
you gotta get these.
If you got your foot in the mud,
I mean, you got the foot in the mud, but then you gotta have your brother to pull you out. Right?
No, I'm just saying you got your foot in the mud because you want to be there. Not only you don't want nobody to pull you out. You throwing brothers on top. You picking them up and throwing them out of the mud. See, that's the only way I get down. I get in the mud and throw them out of the mud.
I'm dragging as many as I can to get them out of there, right? And
that's what I'm talking about right there.
Right now, this is the point of the manosphere. The manosphere is to try and pick as many brothers up in the mud right now and drag them back over enemy lines and get them to safety before they get blown to bits. Because what's happening right now is a lot of dudes are going out there in the dating field and job field, the career field, and the life field, and they're getting smashed to pieces. And nobody's giving them any answers, right? And the questions that they're asking, they're being told they're asking the wrong questions because somewhere at the top of it all is some self-hating black woman with, an axe to grind, a lot of resentment towards any and anybody. And then they don't want you to know. They don't want to give you answers that are biased against them. They want you to be on their team so that you can help serve their purpose even though on an emotional level, they don't really know that what that purpose is. They just know they got a hell of complaints and they want something done about it. They don't know what to do about it. So the best they could do is go tit for tat, right? A black man says this about,
Wait,
you
hold on, hold
know,
on, hold on, JT. I do gotta. Well, I got Mr. Palmer here. I don't know if you know about this, Mr. Palmer. Your name was mentioned in an article written by some black feminist. Do you know about? Did you know about that?
Yeah, one of the brothers
wow.
emailed me yesterday, and
Who was that?
I'm gonna talk about that actually Friday and also Monday. I'm gonna have what's Dr. Thunder on there because he was mentioned. I
Yeah,
was
she
surprised to
mentioned
see.
Dr. Thunder too. Yeah.
I was
I'm
surprised.
down.
I was hoping to try to get him Obsidian on the show, but you can reach out to him because I do want to talk about that. I mean, you know, I'm surprised because I'm like, I was just surprised. I'm like, how you know about me? So you just never know who watching. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I was like, what you saying in here is some bullshit. You don't even know me. My thing, get to know me. I'll let you come on my show, do an interview so you know where I stand. You make
Yeah.
the assumption that talking about we went fuck child support has and baby mama terrorists, but you forgot to mention about the stats, the interviews.
Get closer to your neighbor's Wi-Fi, Mr. Palmer.
Do what?
But anyway,
What about the serial
no,
impregnated?
wait,
What
hold on just a
about
minute. Let me get this
the
in.
Wait a minute. What are y'all
kid who
doing? He was
just
hold on.
okay?
What happened?
We
Hold
waiting for
on, wait,
Mr.
Mr.
Palmer.
Palmer.
I'm right here.
No, we're not. No. I think that's on your end. You can't hear him. OG, can you hear
I
me?
can't hear Mr. Palmer.
Oh no,
That's
well
your,
we could hear Mr. Palmer
that's you,
just
man. That's
fine.
not me, man.
That's
I can hear
fine.
you now, Mr. Palmer. I can hear you.
I
Get it
pay.
in.
All right, well go ahead.
Hey, this deadbeat pays bills.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
was just wondering what's going on with your Wi-Fi.
he
My
only
Wi-Fi got
We're
fixed.
stepping
Yeah.
away.
he
We're
only
stepping away from
he
that
only
delusional woman
hold
that was on
on.
Kevin
Hold
Samuel's
on.
show.
Wait a minute.
Right?
I was about to say, Mr. Palmer, he only running from child support. He pay his Wi-Fi now. His
Right.
Wi-Fi
I'm just
good.
running for child.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Get it in. Get it in. Let us know that, Mr. Palmer.
But no, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it Friday, and I'm gonna talk about it Monday. Actually, I was gonna call you later and talk to you about that because I'm like, it was actually an insult, but I'm like, at least I know people watching, but don't lie. Come on, now, that's all them lies. We ain't here to hate
Yeah.
black women, and when I talk about my platform, I talk about women all together, not just black women.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it was more of an insult, but I'm not surprised. She's a queer feminist.
Yeah.
What you expect?
Well, no. Well, her
That's what she
Obsidian
said.
talked to her. Well, she didn't say. Obsidian asked her outright, was she gay? And I think she said no.
On
but
the article, it said queer feminist.
I don't see it now. Now I don't know.
I got to
she's
find
very
information because I want to see if I can get her to come do an interview or a recording or whatever. You know what I mean? Because you need to get the facts straight when it comes to me.
yeah. As far as I know, like she actually talked to Mad Bus Driver and she talked to Obsidian, but it was all pre-recorded. She's not going live. I don't.
No. I'll go on I'll do it on her pre-recorded. It doesn't matter. I just want her to get to know exactly what my page is about because you made it like, oh, it's just deadbeats don't want to do that, which majority think that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But they like to deflect from what I speak on. They don't want to talk about that because they ride the wave. They go along, get along. So I'm gonna talk about that. But I was shocked to see myself in the LE magazine.
So I got a huge question, Mr. Palmer. Mr. Palmer, if you don't mind if I cut in, I got a huge question,
Yes,
and
sir.
maybe this goes to Jay Speed as well. Aside from paying bills, right? Like aside from paying that child support and everything, what else do you think incorporates being the maximum father, top of your game father? Like what are some of the things that might make you a cut above the rest?
What you mean as far as child support or being a father?
No, exactly my point. Beyond child support, everything else. Because I mean, it seems like a lot of black men are just gripped. They got their nuts in a vice just over child support itself, and it's like I don't usually hear black men coming on these panels and talking about the other things that have to do
What you
with
go and steal in
fatherhood.
your child's life? I think that's what he's
Well,
asking.
if you listen to my
Yeah.
channel, you hear that all the time.
Well, yeah, I know that. I know that from you, Bernard. I know that from you. That's why I never asked you. I'm just asking Mr. Palmer, for example, right? Like, I know you, Bernard, and how you get down. That's why I never felt the need to ask. But I mean, specifically, I don't know if Jay Speed has children or not, but I mean, aside
Have
from
5.
the burden okay, boom. So aside from the burden of paying child support to see your children
Wait,
through, what
hold on.
other?
Let's get something clear. Let's get a good understanding about me. Maybe you don't know too much about me, and I understand. The term "fuck child support" is not about me having to pay child support. The term "fuck child
Right.
support" because when it comes to our court system of family court, that $51 billion they get a year based off child support is the reason why men as a whole, black, white, blue, and green, are not getting they just due. Most men want equal parent time. Most men want to be in their children's lives. Unfortunately, we go in their courtroom is every other weekend, or if not, they getting sole custody. They not getting the mother's getting sole custody, and he only can see his child on the phone for 4 hours. So the problem is this money, because it's not about the best interest of the children, even though the best interest of the children was stated and quoted by Adolf Hitler. That's where that term comes from. And they use a lot of his ideologies in his court system and family and human services. Hope y'all know that.
Yeah, the
So,
Hitler Youth and all that crap. Yeah, but at the same
okay,
time,
hold
I
on.
mean,
Not finished.
aside from
Hold on, wait,
that
let him
basic,
finish. Let him finish, JT. I don't know if you got a delay, but you let
Okay.
him finish.
And like I was saying, the purpose of fuck child support is not about, oh, I'm paying child support and I don't think it's right. No, it's about the gender bias system that's been destroying our men for a long time. Back in the day, child support was for married white women. And the reason why it was just for married white women, because when it comes to the black family structure, 90% or 85% of them was together. They didn't have them problems.
right?
And also, if you was not married back in the day, you couldn't get child support if you had children out of wedlock. And I believe that was justified.
Yeah, that's justified.
Okay. But if you go to this day and age, when it come to mess up our family structure, it came with the welfare. Y'all seen the movie Claudine and so on. But now anybody can go to court and say, hey, I want to put them on child support, whether you're involved in your children's lives, whether you're not involved in your children's lives. They don't do the proper steps, which interview that father to see if it's justified he should be put on child support by law, or not by law. In their books, they supposed to do it that way. If you look it up, they supposed to interview that person, man or woman, if this person is need fit to be paying child support through the state. That's like the welfare, but they don't do it that way. So what I'm trying to tell y'all, that this system is unjust, is biased, and it's about the money. When I tell
So
so
I reverse the onus. I reverse the onus on that question. Then why don't
Can I
more
answer before
men?
you do that?
Actually, hold on one second,
Go ahead,
JSP.
JT.
Why don't more men go out of their way to try to prove the women unfit to be unfit mothers? Because look at
you want to know
all
why?
the things that we talk about here in the manosphere. Look at all the unfit women, the things that they do, the shit that they fuck around with, man. Like, why don't we make an equal effort as men to try and catch those women with their pants down, to try and do whatever we can to amass cases against those women to prove that they are equally as unfit as they like to try and project
Well,
onto
well,
black
see
But that's
here,
what I
men?
here,
wait a
here
minute.
hold on, wait,
That
let me answer that one. Hold
That's
on.
what I talk on my platform. I'm not talking about all women or all black women. I'll be allowed to say all women are baby mama terrorists. Come on now, my mama black.
Well, let me answer the question like this. He said, "Why don't we do an equal job to make a case and show that they are not in the best interest?" The thing that you're missing is that a lot of men do, and like it came what it comes down to. Like we already talked about, is bias, and that
Very
is what
biased.
it is. And so when
But
I did that,
racially
when I
biased,
did
or just
not no,
biased
not even
towards
no,
No,
by
it's not
no,
about
it's like
color.
hold on, listen. I don't know how you could be in this space and not even understand this. When it comes to that system, it's not about color.
Not about
It's
color.
bias. It's bias against
biased towards
men.
the
It's bias
female.
in favor
Yes,
of women. And so when
yes.
I was in
Right.
that situation, I did exactly what you were saying. It was a long 3-year process, cost thousands of dollars, and I proved everything that you were saying. That why don't we go through the process of trying to prove that? I proved all of that. I built an undefeated case that it was just non-negotiable. And you know what they did? They just cut it. They split it right down the middle. I had to come in there with piles of evidence, with so much truth, so much facts, recordings. I'm not even gonna break down all the evidence that I came in there with. She
You
just had
probably
to walk.
hired like a
She
PI
had to.
too, didn't you?
I'm sorry. Say that.
You probably even hired a PI too, didn't you?
No, I didn't have to do that, but no.
Oh,
But overall, the moral of the story is, before I had to spend all the money and gather all the years of evidence and do all this and all of that, like I just walked in there with the truth. She walked in there with lies, and she left up out of there. Like, so, just her showing up with the vagina puts her at an advantage. It's like
Right.
there's no way around that.
And I mean, let me tell you one of the reasons why. Again, it's the money. They don't care about the quote unquote best interest of the children. If you look at the statistics, men are only got custody of 17.5% custody. That's in the United States, and that's 1 out of every 6, and 63% of them of the 17.5 are white. So you can imagine the custody rate that blacks and Latinos and everybody else get. So when people ask me, why do I do what I do? That right there should tell it all. You know what I'm saying? And when I talk about child support and talking about baby mama terrors, it's not just about black women. No, it's, white men got it the worst actually. You know what I'm saying? They pay the
yeah,
most.
problems, man. Just on
Right.
the per capita by population, yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I do this because a lot of people don't want to talk about it because it's considered quote unquote a touchy subject. And if you go against the code, they say, oh, you hate women, your mama black, you broke, you're deadbeat, and so on. But I don't care because this need to be out here for our youth to not go through this type of situation. So we as men have to change the laws of the mind. There's so many men that went to court, did it the right way, and had text messages, had pictures and videos, and that judge don't care because some of them judges get a portion of that child support in they salary. See, a lot of people don't know a lot of this stuff. So I tell you, this system is bad. So the more that you see it for what it is, you change the laws of your mind. That's why a lot of guys now like, well, I ain't have no kid. That's why black men, 53% not having kids and not married because they don't want to go through it.
Yeah,
Many of them are going overseas.
I talked to multiple attorneys on this
Right.
show, but lead attorney is the main
attorney.
most popular divorce attorney
Right.
that I talked to, where he basically said that most men do try to at least get 50-50 custody.
Right.
And nothing will be wrong with that man. He's a perfectly
Right.
mentally healthy, viable adult male parent. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to get 50-50,
Right.
but they side in favor of the women. Not even, I mean, I can understand. I can see them going if they got a little touchy and emotional.
Right.
He trying to get full custody and had a mama on every other weekends, and they are the kids need the hug from the mother and that. No, but he just talking about 50-50. He talking about 1 week on, 1 week off. If that's not standard, something is up.
Most men want equal parenting. They don't want to take over unless something ain't right about her. But and I talk to plenty of women. They'll tell me the only reason why you want equal parenting so you ain't got to pay child support. I say, okay, well then what's the reason why you asking for sole custody or primary custody then?
So you can get child support.
Right.
Exactly.
And see, this is where Bernard. This is where.
Hold on, wait. Hold your thought. Hold your thought.
Maybe we as men need to call their bluff. Maybe we need to start going for like custody, full custody more often.
No. Hold on. Wait. Time out. I did. But they just. That's why I said they cut it down the middle and made it 50-50. But then in reality, I mean, I technically ended up with full custody because even after it was written up 50-50 on paper, and then she couldn't, she couldn't run my pockets no more. Then the kids just basically ended up being with me the vast majority of the time. So I just go in and say, hey, I basically got custody. But on paper it was 50-50. Even though I went for full custody, even though I called her bluff, even though I had all the evidence that would have. I ain't getting
look out for them, bro. They don't care.
Hold on, but I want to see what OG was about to say. OG was about to jump in here. But Osmosis, hold on, wait, real quick. Osmosis reacts in here. Shout out to Osmosis reacts. He says, Beta. Beta. I'm hearing the great value version of Obsidian. This has no value to the show, but you need that roast. I think he was referring to when OG first came on here.
Yeah.
Desky Villy in the building says, because we too busy paying bills, use Logic, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Who else we got in here? Deacon Dave in the building says, use Dave's insanity sauce. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I was married, and I do like to point that out. All my kids born into a marriage, so it wasn't like I showed up as a baby daddy and then had to work my way up. I showed up as a husband and still had to do all that.
The married men get it the worst.
Yeah. Because typically the married man is a working man who got money, who got resources that they can extract. Oh, Nuck and JJ and them, they ain't got nothing that the system could pull from them.
And
So
don't
yeah,
forget
they don't really
alimony.
care.
Now you got alimony, you lose your house and everything else. So you lose more than the guy who's unwedded. So they get the most.
Yeah, Black Savant in here. He says I see a bunch of X mods coming in like Peter Parker in Infinity War. Mr. Bernard, I don't feel so good. Shout out to you, everybody who get that one. That's funny. That's too funny. But go ahead, OG, you got it.
Well, see, this is what Mr. Palmer make a great statement about 15 minutes ago, and it goes coincide with what we're talking about, and then we go bring the topic back. See, experience is a motherfucker. See, and this is where experience comes in when you are having a case in the court. Now, nothing I say is foolproof, but see, a lot of advantage that the court can use against the male, even though it's an unbalanced system from the beginning, is you give them, if you give them anything they can use against you. Let's just say, here the mother has had a bond with that child for 4 years or 5 years, and all of a sudden she go get welfare in the first 3 years, and then now you have all these back payments from the welfare office, and then that shows the court that the mother has built a bond with that child, and you may be in or out. She might didn't let you see the child or whatever, but then it's going to be hard for you to prove that. And see, this is why I try to get guys from the beginning. You got to start fighting at the beginning, because once you build that bond with that child, it's going to be hard for any court, because they take all these doctors and all these statistics. When a child has got bond, you don't want to break that bond real easy. That's why you end up getting 4 hours over the telephone versus actually seeing your child. So this is where I guess the fork in the road come with me. What people misunderstand me a lot is because I try to prevent a lot of this stuff from happening from the beginning once the child has been born. And that's how I can throw a lot of people off.
Once the child has been born.
Can I finish, sir? Before you interrupt, please. Can I finish? I didn't interrupt you. I understand. I'm gonna get to your question in a second, because you did ask me to give you what I thought. See, there was something in nature was put in us way before we was ever on this planet, and that's balance. It's very important for the father to be in that child's life, because that's where the balance and the direction and the leadership comes with the child. Women and I'm gonna say boys and girls, children, and especially when it comes down to men. What we instill in our little boys when they're growing up gives them great balance in life. And so that's the importance of the father to not, I understand what Mr. Palmer's working on, because he's trying to show you the court don't see that. It says it sees that, but it really don't see that as important, because they're about the money. But then you have to go in there with enough evidence, and then make the court makes a decision on what they're really trying to say. Is it for the best interest of the child, or is it for the bank account? So this is why I'm. Oh, can I finish, sir? Can I finish, sir? I know you got a nice thumbnail up there, and you want to be heard and you want to be seen, but can I finish? And so, to answer your question, that should have answered your question, but this is what I'm talking about right here, where the Falcon, where Mr. Palmer make a very, 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 very important statement. I'm old school. See, I was fighting against the guys and the women who train these women. And so if you know the people who train them, and you was able to strategize over them, because that's what our fight was in the 50s and 60s, is dealing with these policymakers. And these policymakers turned into people who were educating people for the future. And so if you understand them, it'll give you a little more edge on how the person was trained. And I think that's what y'all really don't understand about old school people like me and other older people, elderly gentlemen who have experience dealing with the people who trained them. And sometimes when you know the people who train them, you know exactly what they're going to say before they even let it come out of their mouth. And I don't think y'all give that enough importance on
No, I
why.
designated, I totally designate a lot of importance to that. Like I'm Generation X. I'm like the last of Generation X. I was born in 1980, so I give as much credence to everything that came before me as that came after me, right? Like my mother, she was born in 62, so I guess that would make us both Gen X. And what I want to know basically is we're talking about, like you were talking about, consequence, right? We're talking about the after effects of giving birth and giving birth into these situations, these undesirable situations. What I want to know is what is it that as Black people we can do moving forward in order to necessarily ascertain circumstance and handle circumstance more effectually to the point where we can avoid making some of these kind of mistakes, these errors, whether it's, in the bedroom or whether it's, going to the corner store and having a fake $50 bill on us and not thinking twice before we fucking change it and end up getting killed like George Floyd. I mean, there's just
Whoa,
so many. There's just
like,
yeah, yeah. No, it might seem to be unrelated, but I mean, I'm talking
Damn, you
about.
camouflaging the whole billing, brother. Get it
Yeah,
in.
no, I'm talking circumstantial things. Like I'm basically talking about circumstance and consequence, right? And at what point as Black men do we get off and we draw a difference between circumstance and consequence, and we put a line between it. We fail to see where one leads to the other, and we're always dealing with solutions in a reactionary way instead of being proactive, right? Which would come to being able to analyze circumstance
all
before
right, all
becoming
right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
Okay, we got
I
it.
think I think the most of the men that I talk to are past that point in their life, if they were ever at that
right,
point of showing up with fake
right.
50s at the liquor store. So I don't think I don't think that's the audience, that's the crowd. I don't I don't know what we can do to proactively prevent the percentage of people that want to do that from doing that. I do understand in a broad macro sense if the overall if the overall condition and positioning of Black people improved, it will be less that will do that. I think that's where you could be going with it. I don't, but
But I mean,
overall,
like,
man,
yeah, but I mean, like,
the law,
what about getting the wrong women pregnant? What about
yeah, that
interacting with the
part,
wrong
yeah,
Yeah,
kind of
that part is cool,
female,
bro. But
right?
you talking
This is
about the
what I
liquor
mean.
store,
Like
George
Yeah,
Floyd?
circumstance.
you were more like making a statement about we are the world, and I understand we can't make that
no,
commercial again. We can't make that song again. So if
well,
you
hold
listen
on,
to
wait,
this show
OG.
long enough, you'll understand that we do talk about being accountable before you get into these
Oh,
situations.
look at OG. Look at OG. You didn't say something nice about the show, man. I love it
Yeah,
when you do
that's
that.
why I love
But
them,
no,
man. I love
but
them.
no,
I
real
love them.
talk. Yeah, we do talk about that. Like this space, we talk about it all the time. Yeah, it's a lot of locker room talking. We be getting it in. We be talking about sex and all kind of other stuff. But at the same time, we do make sure we do circle it back and talk about being responsible and not being reckless
Oh
with your
man.
speed. We do make sure that we do that. So that's a huge part of this. So
So
I
what
mean
does the Black
the
woman
guy
want?
huh,
What
what?
does the Black woman want? Does she? I mean, I feel like when we're talking about the Black woman and women in general, it feels like we're
She
dealing
want
with
to
a bunch
win.
of freaking
She want to
terrorists. Like
win.
we're dealing with terrorists. We're
That's right.
dealing. She doesn't want equality. She wants superiority. You know what I
That's what I'm
mean? She
saying. She want to
wants
win.
wants us to be at our beck and call. She wants us to snivel at the hem of her gown, and she doesn't want to be accountable. She doesn't want to have to answer for herself or any of her shortcomings. And damned if we ask, man. Because I
If you
mean,
see
then
a
we're talking.
wild dog, my brother, you got to wonder who trained that dog.
And who's
So
using the
that's
dog?
where
And
this is
this is
where
what
I
I'm
come
wondering.
in. This is no. This is where I come in. If you deal with and understand who trained that dog, you can pretty much have an estimate how that dog's gonna react to everything. And this is where I come in. This is, I guess, this is what throws people off about me, because I deal with the people who train the dog, because I already know how the dog will react. So
Right.
when you understand that, it really answers your question. What she wants. She wants to win because the people who taught her was teaching her this is the thing you do to win.
Tear out throats.
There you go.
All right, real quick, real quick. Telly Palms in the building said it also depends on the judge. I dealt with 3 judges: a white male, a white female, and a black male. I was most disrespected by a white male judge. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And Red Sings Blue says, I'm supposed to see what happens when you go against the old heads. You get de-wrenched. Don't take it personal. Everybody lost their wrench, and if you went against some old heads, I wasn't a care of that, and I wasn't aware of that. I don't know who was aware of that. I don't know if anybody saw you doing it. I I go against old heads all the time on here.
And you won't lose a wrench because of me. You get a reward over here.
Yeah, so you get a reward over here for taking down old heads. So don't take it personal. I had this at the beginning of the show. Where was it at?
You said you had 300 wrenches?
Man, no, because I mean I've been handing out wrenches for 2 years, and man, I went and looked at it. It was like 300 of them in there, and then somebody, I don't know who, a lot of people be blocking people. You can come after you can come after the show over and watch it, and the live stream's still up, and be hiding people. So I got so many people I gotta unhide. It was just so much. It was so much effery. I just had to drop the wrenches down to about. It's still like 50. So I just had to do a mass.
Bernardo,
I had to do a mass de-wrenching and basically start over because it was just too much craziness. So yeah. I'm just reiterating again for the audience. Hold on, JT. Just reiterating for the audience.
He called you Ronaldo.
Audience, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. But anyway, hold on real quick. E. Taylor in the building. He says this is a grown man hour. We talk grown man stuff over here. Shout out to E. Taylor 704. Shout out to I think there was another one. Did I read Osmosis? He says, listen to me because I'm old. This generation isn't buying that logic. Boomers and old generation created beta programming in the men today. Yeah, we go against.
Is that something to be proud of? Is that something to be proud of?
We go against the old ninja programming over here all the time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But who else we had in there? I think I saw another super chat. Well, JT, what you were saying? Thank you for. You were saying say something while I try to find these.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for the wrench, man. Thank you for putting me on. And I've been a lover of this channel and your material. Your material is awesome. It's groundbreaking, and I just want to see more people come over here. And you know what I mean? It always amazes me, you know what I mean, to see how many people here come with the most amazing ideas. It's groundbreaking. I think this is a very select part of the Black community. It's very special. It holds a very special place in my heart. There's always the realest people, whether it's Jay Speed, whether it's everybody, I thank you for just accepting me here, man. I try to bring the best ideas that I can to the table and help everybody out in the realest way, man. And you're going a long way, brother. You got a lot of fucking stories to tell. You're hitting the clouds.
Hey. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
He want a double wrench.
Yeah, I didn't know he still had his wrench. I thought he was one of the ones that got caught in the casualties of the de-wrenching.
Man.
But yeah, no, that's wild though. That's wild. That's wild. I forgot. I done lost my place and forgot where I. They threw me off bad. But no, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy with that system, and it goes back. I'll just reposition it like this. A social worker with ideologies like that, like the chick that we was talking about that I was showing the video of earlier. When social workers have ideologies like that, she ain't just affecting her own kids and the families of people close to her. She's affecting hundreds, if not thousands, of families on a regular basis. And so that blows me away that people, like we said, educated. They educated. They got a degree from somewhere, but they are completely 100% just delusional, batshit crazy, biased, can't string a proper sentence together, and where kids going to end up is in their hands. Like that blows me away. That blows me away. And we got Nuruddin in the building.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. That's all right.
What, the
Go ahead.
avatar?
Yeah,
No,
you
go
look
ahead.
like you out with a Little Red Riding Hood or somebody. Where y'all going?
I was at the Halloween parade.
Okay.
Well, hold on a second. Let me do
You know
something.
we have a hoodoo parade out here on Halloween night, but they ain't women. They like men with dresses on.
Well, that we don't. I don't do that in New York.
Okay,
We don't do that in New York City.
Okay, y'all don't do that in. Well, y'all do have that place over there now.
The Village.
There you go.
We got it, but I mean,
Okay,
it is what it is.
Get it in then.
Yeah, I did see the. Well, I changed it that way. You see me smiling. Anyway, I did see the video yesterday. Me and my friend, we were driving the truck. I had to pull over because we were laughing that badly. I was like, "Yo, she's raising the next criminal." After Kevin Samuels just laid out, well, okay, you have your son. Okay, he's coming to you and he's saying, I tried to negotiate, blah, 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 blah. And she says she wants him to stay with her. I was like, after that, I was at 57th and 7th Avenue, and we had to stop the truck. Me and my partner was like, listen, man, these women are out here, and these women are for real. He didn't believe me at first when he saw the video, but we were just like listening to it while we were driving, and we had to pull over because we were laughing that hard and that badly. I'm like, man, you can't make this shit up. I thought that woman was trolling him for a second.
Yeah, I did too. I legitimately thought she was, and then over time, it was like, nah, she was.
I'm like, this chick is real.
Yeah, she was dead serious with it. Hold up.
Key down on your mic a little bit, brother. It sounds like a 1970 record scratching.
For me?
Nardine?
Yes, sir. The one just came.
Hold on.
I'm gonna be the one with the only loud mic over here.
Hold up. Freeman's Journal. Freeman's Journal. Was that you? Let me know. Okay, I see you.
Not Freeman.
All right, Freeman Journal. What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Oh, my boy Freeman. What's up, bro?
Good morning, Freeman.
Mr. Palmer. Hey, I just want to say on this, this is why, the gynocracy has to be destroyed. This is why black men just have to assert their authority because, what is happening to these boys, right? This is why boys can't read, right? The school system is run by women like this. So it is important, man. Protect your seed is more than that. That's how the gynocracy reproduces itself. So it's just, it is an imperative that we do this, right? We have to change the laws. We have to kick out these social workers. We have to kick out these bureaucrats and save black boys. And that's just my personal perspective, right? That's what I'm here for, to destroy the gynocracy and make sure black boys can read. So this woman is a good example of that, right? Now, she may be extreme, but even not extreme, there's thousands, 10,000s of her across the country that are just keeping black people in a terrible state. So that's what I got from it.
Right on, right on. Jay Monta, what's on your? Well, hold on, Al Boogie in the middle with a super chat. He says he like chicks with doodle stains.
Damn. How you get that?
I don't know.
That's
How you
what's up.
get...
It sounds like she must put some M&Ms or something in her underwear.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know.
I don't know that one neither.
Yeah, me either. Shit.
Bernard, you need a soundboard that says, "Oh heck no." No.
Hell to the no.
Go ahead, Jay Monta. You got the mic, man.
What's up, Bernard?
Jay
Miss
Speed,
Palmer,
you got some hissing.
Jay
That was,
Speed.
I think that was you that was hissing. Hold on.
Vacuum
Yeah, I
cleaner.
muted and the hissing went away. Yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of that. But go ahead, Jay Monta.
All right. All that video proved was what we all know, that women in America that are older mothers are dysfunctional, and they do not take advice from a man who's just coming from a place of help. They just want to say what they want to say. If they don't want the help, the advice, the guidance, they always claim they want. She called into his show. Come on. What else proof do you need?
Exactly.
They don't use common sense. I mean, it's common sense for a reason. Like, we as a group of men who are strangers, unless you went to the Manosphere meetup, I heard no one's coming up, might hit that up. But we as a group of strangers across this country, some of our SYSBM, some are out of state, we all agree, like, what are you saying? That makes no sense. When you when you break it down to what's going to happen, this is the pattern we've seen, and you still ignore it, we can't save you. We can only do what we're doing here is give the information and hope the younger men can see this, process how they were raised and how dysfunctional they are, and don't grow up being trigger happy because they are so emotional because they were raised by women like that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Man, that video is crazy. That video is crazy.
I'm gonna have to watch it again just to comprehend it.
What'd you say? Go ahead, Palmer.
No, I don't think I'm gonna say, but the person that wrote in the Ellie magazine ain't gonna write this up. See, they'll write about me saying baby mama tears and KS, confront them like he do and talk about everybody else in the black manosphere and outside of black manosphere. They're not gonna talk about shit like this. That's why I do what I do, because when women come out here and state their case and they really mean it, I clap, because this is what I want men to realize. This is what you up against, and this one of your future baby mama terrorists. And that's why I want the future to definitely change the laws in their mind and get themselves in order. Don't worry about trying to, like you say, protect your seas. And if, like I say, man, if you got to go overseas to start over, if you have to go outside America or whatever, do what you got to do as a man to live your life to the fullest, and don't go through the same shit that a lot of us went through. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to do, man. Because the laws, when it comes to the family court system, is not going to change. But if we change within ourselves, we won't have the situation, because we're going to make sure that we don't get in no situation like that woman in the picture that was on the show with Kevin Samuels. I mean, we had to.
Yeah, right on. Sir Tice says JT Hellstorm look like Red Man. That's funny.
He did like Red Man though.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. No, I mean, yeah, they
criticize
check
the space.
this out. They
Check
can
this
criticize
out.
this
Check this
space. Hold on. They can criticize the space all they want, but like even right now, even though I spent like the first hour or so reacting to that video,
right,
kind of opened up, a bunch of brothers came up and we're talking about the system and how to do things to beat it, how to avoid getting into it.
Right.
So a good productive conversation with men is taking place here, but like you're saying, they're gonna overlook that.
Yeah,
they're gonna mention, they wear fuck child support hats,
right,
and just leave that real ambiguous. It's like no, like come on, like, but go ahead, JT. We're about to wrap this bad boy up pretty soon. Actually, we can go around, do final words. Well, damn, who else I got down? Oh shoot, I got people in the man. Look, I'm sorry, I got to catch me on another show. I see some new people coming up in the back because I'm about to roll out. But go ahead, JT. We can go around and get last words.
Yeah, isn't this all about prevention? We want to handle prevention. We don't want to be reactionary all the time. We don't want to be, just falling into some nookie and then all of a sudden saying, "Oops, well, what are we gonna do now? What am I do now?" Right after everything's materialized and everything, and then there's a lot more people you got to think about. There's another life you got to think about. There might be some crazy baby mom on the other side that's got her issues and might want to deprive you of the child, that might have postpartum depression and might even want to kill the child. There's so many mental illnesses that a lot of women are facing, especially nowadays. COVID, everybody is locked in. There's supposedly supposed to be a baby boom during this period. It never happened, right? People are drawing farther and farther apart. So I think what we need to do is use this time as men. I think this might be the only time that we get as men to really plot and plan exactly where we want to go from here, what we want, to actually visually manifest it and then go out into the world and live it up, because it's that much more crucial. When you're going out into the world right now, you're taking a risk with your life. So every time you go out into the world and you have a vision, you better make sure when you go out into that world, you're doing something in some sliver, some modicum to make that vision come to pass, because your life can be on the risk. Women are just a distraction. If anything, they're entertainment, if you can get one. At this point, it's not even worth it. This is a true test of a man's faith, his faith in himself, his faith in his fortitude, his faith in his faculties. And this is it. Women are out there. Women are ultimately the best tool in the devil's toolbox, and you got to know when to avoid them, what to do, how to go about it, and just stack your money, get your grab bag. Make sure that when shit hits the fan, you're ready to up and leave and go wherever the hell you need to at a moment's notice, man. Like, I just wish all my brothers down here good luck. This is coming out of Pennsylvania. Like, yo, I'm a survivor. We got guns over here too. Everybody just be careful, man. A lot of black people are falling ill. A lot of Latinos are falling ill. We got a lot more to worry about than, who we want to impregnate, right? If you're successful, if you're
Dude,
somewhat,
nobody, we don't sit here worrying about who we want to
yeah,
impregnate.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, there's nothing to worry about. If
like,
you're successful and you're good looking,
like you
everything is
keep going to the bottom of the barrel. Like that's
yeah,
that's
no, but
not us.
no, there's younger guys here though too in the
We gonna
manosphere
have to
that
put
are
a bounty
The
on
younger
his
guys
head.
are more ruthless with that.
that are
They
just
don't care
coming into
about
their own,
impregnating women.
right? I'm talking to them too. I'm talking to the younger manosphere guys that are coming into their own, that are just discovering this space, that
I
are
don't think
just learning.
the younger guys are just sitting around thinking about who they want to get pregnant. I don't think
No,
nobody's
I
doing
don't think so too. I hope to God
that.
not. Right? That's what I'm saying. I
Right.
hope to God not.
All right, we going to Jay Monta in the building. You got your go ahead. You got your last word. Thanks, JT Hellstorm. Do appreciate you. All
All
right,
right.
go ahead,
You been
Jay
hanging
Monta.
around Jesse Jackson, ain't he?
I just want to start with this. The younger men who come to this space are already opening their minds to the message of you have to get your money, get yourself straight, and get your mental. This is space where older men can share their wisdom that they might not be able to do with the current culture we have today. And that's a good thing. We don't have as many birth rates when people are young. That might be detrimental to society later on. But we know that people were raised and get the bad culture. That's how it's happened. And we're going to see how it plays out in another 20 to 30 years. I predict that men are just going to become better. They're going to get their money. They're going to get straight. They're going to get mentally right. Then they're going to find a woman to get on their program. Will they have been their wild girl summer and now got their mind straight? We don't know. But that's my prediction of it, at least.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate that. And moderators, like, well, y'all can see what I just typed there, but make sure if y'all haven't been doing it, drop Mr. Palmer's link
They
in
have.
the chat room.
They have,
Make
bro.
sure that- okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
My girl
All
Gail.
right.
Yeah, she had.
Okay, yeah, Gail
Yeah,
always
right.
on it. Gail always on it.
Shout out to you for that though. Thank you.
Yeah, but Freeman's Journal in the building. Go ahead, you got your final words. Well, hold on real quick. Sodomy and Chicken in the building. He says, time to go bounty hunting. Yeah, I got to put.
Come on, man. What
Dude, I love that name.
Sodomy and Chicken, y'all, man. I love y'all niggas.
I love
yeah,
that.
you ain't. Yeah.
Sodomy and Chicken.
I done got used to that name, seeing that name here. I forgot how funny it is, but yeah. That don't go together at all. But all right.
But I like it.
See, I'm good.
Oh shit.
All right, go ahead, Freeman.
Hey, love the chat, Bernard, and I am excited about the manosphere in 2022. Seems like steam is picking up, right? Algos are getting changed. I think a lot of people are going to be especially drawn here more with not just KS, but also who's that guy? Not guy, but the interview, right? That Obsidian did in L Magazine, right? It's just going to draw a lot more eyes here, and I think that we have a chance to just be an example for more men as they get here. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just excited about that, honestly. Donating more money to efforts to get black men to read and get these weird these just weirdos out of education, man. Just get them out. They're not serving us, they're destroying us. So like we did the panel on Mr. Palmer, right? We went to went over Baltimore City schools, man. It's a travesty. It's a travesty. I mean, that's where the action is, because that's where, I mean, you think about it. If you have this social worker in these households and these boys in that environment, then they go to school for 8 hours a day, and get taught how they're not a girl or they're not a boy, got to deal with that weirdness. So, I mean, it's 24/7 programming for failure, and that shit has to stop. So that's where I'm at.
Right on. Good stuff. I'm gonna let Mr. Palmer go last. OG, you ain't getting the final slot.
Well, a special guest. When you have a special guest, I don't take that as no shit. But anyway, as y'all got to see this morning, I could be on my best conduct. I'll still be coming in here with the bullshit every once in a while to make you think, and that's just the way I am. I like to keep the debate or the topic balanced. So, hey, so then you have some, because you're gonna be asked these same questions. See, if you just deal with your own talking points, and you don't have somebody who would ask you. I'm not going to talk about it in a negative way, Mr. Bernard. I see you get ready to shake your head.
I can see you just trying to walk back and justify all the.
No. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say. I still be coming here with the bullshit because I think you need to know both sides of the argument. So when you are asked these questions, you just can't shun people off. You will have something to push back on them. And so it's good to see Mr. Palmer is in health. Good to see you got your waves coming in right, but you got to put a little bit of wetness on your brush to get that little shit that's slinging up on your ends at the top of your head. So you got to straighten that out a little bit on top of where you're lying at. You got to straighten that shit out. But other than that,
light right there.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. On my good days, I know how to hide that. It's like a little trick I can do to hide that. But I got
it's a trick.
The light shining too bright on it right now. Y'all can see where I'm going, boss.
Yeah. You got to
move the lights back and turn them down a little bit, and that'll.
Yeah. You got and the most I could tell brothers, the younger brothers, hey, look, it's all kinds of ways to get to Atlanta, Georgia from California. So go ahead and get you a condom real tight and keep your duct tape on the back end, because you never know when something's trying to slip in. So. I understand you don't understand that, Bernard, but we got to keep the brothers, get their bags first, get their life together first, and we got to keep pushing that, because a lot of us in the older generation, we're already set in our ways and we're already pushing forward. So if the most important thing is educating our youth, man, so they can be a lot better than where we were at our age. And so, just like I say, I will be coming back with the bullshit every once in a while, because I got to keep y'all honest. And so, anyway, everybody have an amazing day. Mr. Palmer, it's good to see you. And it's good to see you, Bernard, that you're getting that grease off your head and you're getting real professional looking over there in that studio.
Yeah, don't say.
Right, but you got
to keep us honest. You keep yourself honest. Keep yourself.
Okay, but anyway, you got to keep that monitor right there in front of you. You got to have it coming down off the wall right there in front of you, so you got to squint your eyes and all that kind of stuff. No, you got to keep it in front of you. Because when you put it on the side of you like that, Bernard, you got to keep yourself focused to your audience. And your audience is right in front of you, so you got to keep that monitor right there.
I got it. This was.
I know you got it. I know you got it.
I did a pre-recorded video where I was, I was basically like this the whole time. Then I came in to do the live show, and I didn't rechange the setup where the cameras was at. So I just ran with it today, and I like the look of it, but I don't like how I'm looking like this the whole time.
There you go. And that ain't your good side neither. So you need to have it on the other side. But anyway. But y'all have a good day, man.
Some people can actually do their show and just look at a camera the whole time. That's hard to do for me. I got to look at a screen.
Right.
So
me too.
Yeah.
I got to look at a screen. I ain't with
that's why I normally try to have the camera either in front of the screen or behind the screen or like right on top of it. But
and you still didn't give me no feedback on my review I did on your first show. I'm working on my second one. I guess you never did get to watch it, but it was funny as hell.
I don't watch.
I know you don't watch my shit, and that's okay. That's okay. Sooner or later, you gonna have to watch my shit because my shit is gonna do what his shit does. But y'all have a good day, man. It's good to see you, Mr. Palmer. I'll be over there. Okay. Okay. All right. Out of here. And wait a minute. Just before I go, Shaka, Shaka Nulu. How do you fuck up a Shaka Zulu name like that? Have a good day.
What are we talking about?
Shaka Nunu. He ain't never had nothing good to say about me, so I said I just said that. I put that there because he fucked up Shaka Zulu name and he put Nunu behind it.
Okay.
All right, I'm out of here.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Palmer, you got the last word. Real quick, before we hear the last words from Mr. Palmer, I did drop the link in the chat to Obsidian's video. Obsidian just did a video where he interviewed the black feminist queer chick that wrote an article about the manosphere. Obsidian, it was more like she interviewed him. It was pre-recorded. He dropped it, and so that link is in the chat if y'all want to go and listen to that. He did have a conversation with her, and she mentioned Mr. Palmer in there, so we ended up talking about that. But we can go ahead and pass to Mr. Palmer for
I need that link because I definitely want to
for the last words. Yeah.
I appreciate you for having me come on, and what I want to say, definitely subscribe to my channel. Just type in Mr. Palmer. I want y'all to get a clear understanding. Most men who went through the system is not the ones who did oopsies and my bag, it wasn't planned. I met her one day on Instagram. No. Child support and all this is mostly for men who were married and also for men who was in long-term relationships like me. I wasn't married, but I was in an 11-year relationship, but they treated it as a marriage when we went to court. Even though in Illinois, they don't go off of, that term when you together over 10 years. They don't honor him, but they did for that situation. So I don't want a lot of you brothers thinking that, it's because he, made a mistake and just said oopsie at a one-night stand. No. A lot of times our problem is we don't know who we're dealing with till after the fact or when the relationship failed or when after the divorce. We have to do our due diligence to find out who we're dealing with. We have to really vet these women. And that's why I tell y'all, as men, get to the point where they have to earn that peen. Let them earn it. Don't just, hit it because it's equal opportunity, because it was easy, because that ass though, that's why I say change the law of your mind. Because a lot of times, even you give them that sex without, even if you ain't shooting nothing in them, but you give them that sex can open up a door of bullshit. So that's why it's good to find out who you're dealing with. Learn, see if they got mother and a father, see if the mama a piece of shit, baby mama tear, see if the father simple forcer, do we run the house? Also asking them questions that she would never be asked. Do you believe in child support? Are you a feminist? What's your take on alienated fathers? Do you believe that man is the leader of the house? All these situations, ask them. And even if they say, nah, I don't agree with them things, you'll tell by the eyes, the reaction and stuff like that. I just don't want to see none of y'all lose. And that's why I keep doing what I do. Again, change the laws of your mind, fellas, because when it comes to this system, even outside of family court, this system is not for you. We've been lied, we've been stained, false allegations, false lies, be better fathers. That's the biggest lie. Even Obama said it. The first black president, they say he's the best president, which he's full of shit. He didn't do nothing for us, but that's another story. So I just want y'all to change the laws of your mind, and 2022, no L's. So holla at your boy.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks, brother.
Again. Oh yeah, no doubt. All right, y'all. Like I said before, man, check out that video Obsidian dropped. He dropped it, I believe, late last night. We had a conversation with the woman who wrote the article on the manosphere. It was, had a Aaron. Actually, she consulted Aaron G. Fountain before she started doing, writing the article about it and start trying to learn about the manosphere. It's a lot of people that, I forgot what magazine, what publication that it's in. Elle magazine. I forgot what it is. Ellie, or something like that.
It's a popular magazine, bro.
It's popular. Yeah, I don't know nothing about it. It's very popular. Okay, cool.
Very popular. Yep.
Cool. I like it. Either way, I ain't tripping. Yeah. Going and put it in there, going to put it out there. And she talked to Obsidian, so I mean, hopefully she'll chop it up with Mr. Palmer, and we'll go from there. But all right, y'all. Thank everybody for supporting the stream. Everybody who's supporting in any way, shape, or form, whether you like, share, subscribe, super chat, cash app, whatever you did to support the stream in any way, shape, or form, I greatly appreciate you. We out of here.